jump right into this. There's a couple of things I want to share, a couple of aha moments that hit me, epiphanies, a whole new level. And a lot of you may not like what I have to say. You know, we go through life, and when we come out of our mother's womb, we're totally helpless and dependent on our mother. And it's the goal of life to be independent, but it happens in stages. You can't jump from one stage to the next. It's a process that takes time. So when you see a child in the crib crying because it doesn't see its mother in the room, the child doesn't know that, for those who don't breastfeed, that the mother is getting a bottle for that child. Now, you need to stay away from that Enfamil and Similac, all things natural, but I'm just using this as an example. And after a while, the child knows that, well, every time she left, she came back with something. And that's part of the process. That's part of growth, of realizing how things happen and how things work. Well, after a while, the child desires to walk and move about on its own. That is a natural process. Like I said, when I first came on, it's about independence. So the child crawls, and you look over one time and you see the child holding on to the coffee table, standing on shaky legs. That's progress. Even though it may not know how to walk, it gets a taste of the freedom of using the feet and the legs that it has. That being said, and I can go on through the whole stages and take the next 15 days talking about different steps, but I think you know what I mean. But it comes to a point where we as a people, singular independent units, have mastered ourselves to understand how we fit into the world and understand how the world works. And we have a sense of it. When you see young girls, not just in the inner city, but it's also something that is common in the inner city, where you see girls outside playing double dutch. And they know they have to get in between those ropes without touching the ropes. So you usually see the two turning the ropes, and you see one timing themselves, because they understand that they just can't barge in and continue the process of jumping rope if the ropes touch them. So they finally jump in, and sometimes they do make a mistake, and that's what makes things better. Meanwhile, you'll see a young boy, could be a girl, riding down the block on a bike. Maybe they just learned how to ride, but they don't know how to maneuver it all the way. It takes a certain sensory perception over time to balance themselves, and sometimes you see them fall. So now we get to adulthood. We should have mastered ourselves by then. They say the human brain doesn't completely develop until the age of 25, and I believe that. For some people, I think it doesn't truly develop until the age of 60, and then they start to get Alzheimer's. They just completely miss the boat. So in our development, we learn how to work with each other. And just like the double Dutch analogy, when you're merging into the highway, you just don't drive straight like you're the only one. And I see people do this. How many of you have driven on the slow lane of the highway, and all of a sudden the person who's supposed to be merging and timing themselves, like that person who does the double Dutch, they don't do it that way. They barge in and you have to honk the horn. These are people who just don't get it. And you say to them, even though they can't hear you, you give them the finger, you cuss them out, you just ask, are you stupid? That's what happened to me this Saturday. Mrs. SCURV and I were going somewhere to meet a dear friend. I know you're watching. How are you? We had a good time and a good talk. And I began to look at those around me, not on a singular level as far as individuals are concerned, but just as an overall. I'm talking about Black people. As you can see on the sign up top, it says live from Accra, but the time is for East Coast United States, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'm in Accra, Ghana. Things are not perfect here. Things are not perfect anywhere for any race of people, okay? But you would think that after all we've been through, we would realize how to navigate this world by the amount of times that we've been shoved down, by the amount of times that we see others exploit us, by the amount of times that we see that we're the last on the list for anything. First of all, understand I am not crying any type of victim mentality. No way. I'm not doing that. I don't do that. I'm a winner. I'm a conqueror. I'm a person who defeats adversity most of the time with ease. I'm a very determined person. And because of those attributes that I possess, there are many people who are based in insecurity and don't want to go beyond their comfort zone to manifest the seeds of greatness inside of them. And this is what pisses me off, because I see a lot of us who don't want to push to manifest the seeds of greatness that the Creator put inside of them. But any day of the week, for those who are churchified, they'll tell you, I am blessed and highly favored. How the hell are you going to be blessed and highly favored by sitting on your damn ass? Life is struggle. It's a righteous struggle. It's a gradual struggle to attain your greatness. So you mean to tell me that you can cry about racism, but not fight racism by doing what you need to do for yourself? Because once you are determined to do what you need to do for yourself, nothing can stop you. You point back to the days when we were kings and queens and ruled the world. What the hell happened? You're sitting up on a corner, not all of you. You got a 40 ounce or some liquor or some wine in one hand and a joint in the other, talking about you calling yourself a king. You're a damn bum if you can't manifest something incrementally from day to day. Racism is not going to stop me. It has gotten in my way. It has frustrated me. But I walk the earth as a free man, and I think as a free man, and I'm not going to apologize to any bum out there who can't see better for themselves. And so now I'm thinking about all of the black people that I've known. I've known some really brilliant black people, melanated, copper colored, whatever you want to call yourself. You know who you are because you look like me, right? Pretty much. We come in different colors, different hues, but when somebody sees one of us and the essence that we have on the inside, when we are of that warrior spirit, which goes for males and females, they already know who you are. And you look to them like that roach that got away. You sprayed the whole apartment to get rid of all the roaches, but wait a second, he should be dead. He shouldn't be here. Not only should he be here, he shouldn't even be thriving, or she shouldn't be thriving. What the hell is going on? But we accept the limitations that they put on us. And this is something that pisses me off, because it was said in the comment section, not verbatim, but it was a young lady who basically said in response to an old a YouTube short, a 60-second video that I did, that, oh, no, we're never going to be doomed or defeated because we are the original. See, we can't sit down on that anymore. We have to understand that there's something that we have to do except to posture in kente cloth, and posture with head wraps, and posture in our blackness, which is really something that is a joke these days. We walk into a room, we're the joke. We walk into a room, we go to a job, and most of the time, and this does not pertain to all of us, but too many of us. When you have a Caucasian, especially in America, walk into a situation and they could be dumb. They could be the new person on the job, but when they walk into the room full of black people, in their mind, they already know that they're the boss. They already know that they're the ones who's going to make decisions and be in charge of everybody else. And you know what pisses me off? As brilliant as we can be, we accept it. You see, nobody's going to defeat us like that. But guess what? We will allow ourselves to be defeated. I was almost driven to tears when this feeling hit me Saturday. I'm very sensitive that way. Doesn't mean I'm a punk. Doesn't mean I'm a sissy. Doesn't mean I'm weak. I'm just emotionally sweating and letting things off because I'm very passionate about the things I do. I'm very passionate about life. And most people can be intimidated by that. Or just think, why is he this way? Why don't he just grab a blunt and live his best life? No. I'm here to conquer. I have an eternity on other levels. But when I'm here, and while I'm here, I'm a conqueror. Not just a conqueror saying it, but a conqueror of myself. You see, when you master yourself, you can master anything. You can master the world. Some people talk it and end up being, when they're revealed, hedonistic carnal fools who hide behind the coverings of righteous garb, but talk smack and never manifest anything. I work hard at this, what I do, not because I'm looking for money from people. Yes, donate, please. I need the help. But the goal, I've been doing this all my life, even before there was a YouTube, even before there was a social media. I was known as that guy who'd stay after work and talk with the brothers about things maybe that I knew, and I didn't know everything. I still don't know everything, but what I know, I pass it on. What I can motivate someone with, I give to them. But I'm not going to waste my time with some fool who you're talking to them and they're like, huh? What you talking? Huh? And I'm not saying I know everything, you see, but here's the thing. Here in Africa, in Ghana, West Africa, Accra, there's a port that was given to the Chinese, right? And I can't say that I'm not hating on anybody else because nobody else is loving on me. So I'm not going to say, well, it's not because I hate them. No, but none of them are loving on me or anybody that looks like me. And I don't really get into the affairs of the government here because I don't understand it as much. I'm learning, but it takes time. Like I said, the girl who's about ready to jump in with the double dutch, you got to time it, you got to feel it, you got to know, right? This is a whole different ball game here. I know America, but I can't claim that I know here like that. And I'm not here for that. I'm here to relax and create and pursue and get everything out of me, hopefully before the time of my transition. But starting out with that the government has somehow allowed or given the Chinese a port. It couldn't have been taken by force. So there had to be some agreement. And I'm not too much up on the details of that, but believe me when I tell you, I'm living here, I know it. And it's just like from what I heard in Jamaica, the island of Jamaica, where the Chinese have a port. See, we have everybody from around the planet, and it's really punctuated here in Africa, where people who will hate us, people who don't like us, people who are not looking out for our best interests. And should they? Here we are in Africa, the bread and food basket of the world, a place that if you took every single person, all the billions of people on the planet Earth, and put them here physically, you'd have so much space between you, you'd have to squint to see the next person who lives by you. But they made the map so much smaller. And again, this is not just about Africa. I'm just going to use some comparisons on how I was made to feel on Saturday. And it came out of nowhere. Even yesterday, when we were on our way to meet with our dear friend, I had an overwhelming sense of sadness. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? I had to fight back tears. Again, not because I got some mental issue or whatever, but I'm very sensitive to what's around me. I'm an empath. I'm very sensitive to what's around me. I can damn near read your mind. I can damn near know when you're a good person, and I can always know when you're a piece of shit. And when I see it, I don't dress it up. I just call you a piece of shit and just say, stay away from me. Why? You're a piece of shit. I'm not going to allow you to manifest it any more than you have already. Because at this point in my life, I have no time to waste. There are people who are dying that are 20 and 30 years younger than me, never got a chance to see 50. I'm near 60. I hope I get to see it. I hope I can live very long, not to just indulge in the creature comforts, but to do something real. But it hurts me. And I thought to myself, I've been talking this way for many, many years, from way back. I've seen people who came against me for what I said, as is their right. But now they've reinvented themselves and they're saying the same stuff that I said years ago and actually copying the words that I say. I'm like, look at this fool, right? But I've been steady the whole time. But this is not about comparison. This is not about competing with anybody. This is about being real. And the most of us out here, Black people, Black leaders, let's talk about the leaders. Let me talk about why I did what I did with this, okay? I made a banner. And I know a lot of people didn't like it. I put 3 monkeys in front. And it's not about monkeys because a lot of people wrote to me and said, man, why would you put such a disgraceful picture up there? right? Why would you put that up there, man? You're talking about, is it game over for black people and you put monkeys? White folks are going to love that. And I said to them, I said, well, listen, look at the guy on the left. He's got headphones, hear no evil. Look at the guy in the middle. He says, speak no evil. And look at the one on the right-hand side, see no evil. That sounds and looks just like the so-called chosen leaders of white America and the colonizer. That's how they do. They fill that gap between us truly rising, and they compromise us, and they don't want to hear it, they don't want to speak it, and they don't want to see it. And they acting like damn monkeys. So you worried about a picture talking about, oh, you got monkeys up there, but you wearing your pants around your ass. You worried about a picture where we got monkeys up there, but not only are you wearing your pants down below your ass, you're wearing an underwear under it and spreading your cheeks and taking it up the ass. Down low, brothers. You more worried about, I'd rather you be a womanizer than a dude running after a dude. What the hell is wrong with us? Where's our priorities? How many down low Chinese dudes do you know? I don't want to know and I don't care. But all I'm saying is that and I'm using them as an example, and I'm not exalting them over us. For we are the original, of course, and nobody can defeat us. But we're defeating ourselves. That's what I mean to say. We're defeating ourselves. We're letting it happen. We're not putting up a fight. And we have those out there who say, oh, we must unify. How long are we going to have to hear that? I heard that from single-digit ages in the 1960s. My parents sat me down and explained to me what was going on in the world with the so-called civil rights movement that should be really the human rights movement, right? And human, not that knockoff humankind. I'm talking about HUE-MAN, human, a man of hue. Wake up, wake up. We need to get together. We need to get together. You know what I'm feeling now? Why I wanted to cry on Saturday and Sunday? It's not ever going to happen. It's not ever going to happen. Do I hope for the best? Yes. Are there some people who will? Yes. Will all of us? Probably not. But more can. The most of us should be on board to do what we need to do. But we look for ways to antagonize. We look for ways to be separate. There's certain people with the state of mind that they have. I will never unify with them because they're not good for the whole structure. But they mask themselves in good talk, and others will say, no, you can do it with them. No, but these people are bums. They're prostituting good words. Are you ready to roll up your sleeves? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to give your life for your brother and your sister and the future? How many people want to do that? I don't care about how many comments I get. I don't care about how many accolades I get or whatever, because I'm going to be gone one day, probably sooner than later. I've been almost 60 years on this earth. You double that. Am I going to be 120? Hopefully. I probably won't be able to say but 2 words by that time if there's a microphone in front of me, so I better do it now. See? We got to utilize our time properly. What are you doing with your time? These people, we're so materialistic. We're so worried about, let me be real. Let's be honest here. I'm not knocking the motherland. I'm not knocking America. But then again, I am knocking America and I am knocking the motherland. Never been to the UK, really don't want to go there, but I'm going to knock certain aspects of it also. This is a family talk, and this is a partial ass whipping for black people. We need that every now and then. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of seeing now we got more black police officers killing black young men. We still have these diseases going around. We still screwing each other raw dog when we know these diseases were put out there to snuff us out. We're not aware of how much is put out there to snuff us out. We're not aware of this fake food, but because it tastes good and because it's at the corner store and we can't really go to a further market, why can't we get together and carpool if you don't have a car? And we go out once a week or every other week when we get paid, whenever, and we get a freezer in our home and store our foods. See, right now, before we move into the house, I'm in an apartment with a small refrigerator. When Mrs. Scurv was going to America, I would go shopping, right? I couldn't get as much stuff because the freezer was so small. And I eat a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Brother Scurv love to throw that on some food. But if you can't store your stuff, what good is it that you're a slave to a supermarket that if it shut down or the shelves were empty, you screwed? I'm not growing everything yet. I don't know nothing about that. That's Mr. Scurv's area of expertise. So our food is important. Where are you going to get your food if you don't go to the supermarket? You have to grow your own. How do you grow your own? Get the hell out of these cities instead of worrying about the rims on your car, the red bottom shoes, the weave. You get another gun for what? For protection. How are you living? You shouldn't be worried about that. You should have your ass inside as a grown man on a mission. Yeah, of course, if you have to, fine. But half the time we're idle, we're not doing what we should do, and we're doing things that bring this kind of thing on us. Anybody who is not, I'm not going to say legally, right, but responsibly carrying a firearm knows how to carry themselves. But you see too many of us as young black men and a few of our sisters that I know that are out there. As soon as we get that gun, we walk a little bolder. We look around like, what you looking at? Because we know we got that piece on us, even though half of us don't even know how to fight. Half of us don't even know what it's like to get punched in the face and your lip pushed up on your teeth and the inside swelling up and you tasting your own blood, your eyes all screwed up, you can't see out of one eye, you sweating. Most fights last 20 seconds or 30 seconds before it goes to the ground. In the movies, I don't know how that works. Y'all fight for 5 and 6 minutes, 10 minutes, and nobody gets dirty. So we're out of touch with reality. We're out of touch with what needs to be done. And we're a sitting duck for other people, and we're going to be begging other people for what we need to be doing for ourselves. And I'm through with those who have nothing on their mind. Black people who come from America and come over to Ghana or any other country, and we think that they got their heads together. And I'm going to say this whole roach story the same way I said it before because I want to say it on this one. I want those who watch this video to know that concept. You got a person who lives in an apartment and they say, oh man, I can't wait to get out of this apartment and move into a house or a better apartment. And they purchase a condominium, a co-op, or they purchase their own home. They get a mortgage and they approve, they worked hard, they got good credit down payment, and they went and did that. So now they say, boy, we are not gonna live with roaches anymore. So they pack up their boxes, pack up everything nicely. The time comes to move and they move. Now let's say they move into a house, a sizable house, a lot more space, clean, brand new, everything sealed off. They settle everything, they relax, they feel good. Everything is not unpacked all the way, but pretty much everything is where it is. And they just relax. They say, let's just sit down here. Let's enjoy a Coca-Cola. Let's enjoy a little tea, a little juice, whatever, smokes your drawers. And let's just chill for a second. Let's just take a break. You doze off, you wake up, and you tap your spouse, whoever's with you. You say, wait a second, what is that on the wall? You say, I don't see nothing on the wall. What is that on the wall? It looks like a roach up there. Yo, it's a roach. We got roaches in here? No, the house didn't have roaches. You brought the roaches with you. That's what you did. You brought the roaches with you. So how does that compare to many Americans who are moving here, or folks from the UK, or black folks who are moving from anywhere in the world? But I'm going to pick on America. You have a lot of black Americans, American Africans. Whatever. See, we also have an identity problem. Whichever way we say it, let's understand it's part of a whole. So you can say whatever you want to say. We understand we're one people. One people. The original. We may call ourselves this, or that. Look. You have your brother, your sister, full-blooded, same mother and father, right? You have the same last name. You're related. But you may have a cousin who has a different last name. Does it mean you're not related because you got a different name? So we're rolling around in the dirt talking about, I'm indigenous. I ain't got nothing to do with Africa. Oh, I'm FBA, Foundational Black American. And we got pimps out here who make stuff up and we run for it because we don't have a sense of who we are. They'll make up something in 2 more years. We'll be running around and on social media fighting about it and getting nowhere. So just like those people who moved from the roach-infested apartment and didn't make sure to not bring those roaches with them, all of a sudden they're a proud homeowner with a house full of roaches. The same way. Different location, same mindset. So we have many who come over here who want to be elite, who want to be above this one, or you have to be part of this group to be whatever. There's no unity. I can't mess with that. I will not mess with that. You see me, the way I was raised, I could be inside. I'm an introvert and an extreme extrovert. I love being an introvert. I'm a Sigma male anyway, but I love being an introvert. I get more done. I don't need the company of people who are idiotic in their thinking. Not that I'm calling everybody an idiot, but many people out here are idiots and trying to act superficial with the education that they may have from the white man's universities, but dumb as hell when it comes to common sense, dumb as hell when it comes time to get something done. Don't you have children? Don't you want something better for yourself? Instead of slapping designer jeans on the back of their ass and designer shoes, whatever. And I dress my kids up with the best, but they go into the public schools and get indoctrinated, and you won't send them to a private school or even take the time to homeschool them. So when they get older and they get that tag around their wrist from being disobedient adults because you allowed them and grew them up to be disobedient children by spoiling them, that's your fault. You're perpetuating something they want to keep us in. So many who come over here to the motherland are no better than what they were because it's just a different covering. If you were shit back in America and you come over here to the motherland but put a little chocolate icing on it, it don't mean you chocolate cake. You're the same shit with some icing over it. And now we can play pretend and whatever. And I'm not going to romanticize this place. I love it here. I can live better than ever before. It's more affordable. I can breathe. I don't have to look over my shoulder for police, coming to kill me. I've been beat down by 11 police officers back in 89, January 26, midnight. I'll never forget it. It helped to give me the PTSD that I have, that I proudly display, because I will flip it on you if you come at me the wrong way and do you in. I'm not going to say, oh, I have issues, I'm crying. No, I'm looking for a reason to do somebody in. If you come and step to me the wrong way or cross that line, that's just the way I am. Look, I'm not going to sit here and freak out. This world is tough. This world is more challenging when you have these systems against you and you have ignorant people that look like you who don't want to see you succeed. So you won't know what I'm doing. You won't know what I'm doing to succeed, but I am succeeding. I am in the motherland. I've made it. There are many of my brothers and sisters who are not truly brothers and sisters that even before I came here, oh, he can't afford a plane ticket. He ain't going to do nothing. But I'm doing here just like I did in America and didn't miss a beat. What kind of house you going to live in? Is it a mud hut house? You're going to be up in the trees? Be careful for the lions and tigers. I haven't seen a lion or a tiger yet. I haven't seen it yet. But you know what? I've seen a couple snakes going through the grass. Yeah, I see them. You can't get bit by those because you'll die in 60 seconds. The pythons and the black mamba. But you know what? I'd rather deal with a snake because I know what his purpose is than the fake snakes that I've known in America. Well, don't you miss it? No, I don't. I don't miss it, right? It's a few of the people that I might miss, but a whole lot of other people who have it in for you. Why would you want to be around? It's idiotic. Why would I want to be around people who are mixed up and don't know their own mission, who don't know what must be done, who don't have a sense of community? How are you going to have a sense of community when your family's jacked up? You're not even putting effort into your family. That's one of the building blocks. But before family, you got to get yourself straight. And a lot of us are so mixed up, and I understand why. I'm not putting you down because you mixed up. I'm not putting you down because you stepped in doo-doo, and I'm not going to let you walk in my house. Listen, I love you. I want you to come into the house, but I'm not going to let you bring that shit here with me, inside with me, stinking up my house. Go outside in the grass, go around the side of the house on the side, get an old rag or give your old newspaper and take that crap from between the grooves of your shoes and leave them outside. We can't accept anybody just because they're black like us. Oh, man, you shouldn't say black because so-and-so. Man, shut up. Shut up with all that foolishness. We want to argue and roll around in the dirt while we are being taken over. That's why I say, is it game over for black people? The more we get, and we get as far as technology and the materialism and the vehicles and all this shiny red things, baubles and rubies and all kind of things. We feel, yeah, we made it. Rihanna's a billionaire and she was there at halftime, but black people making it. No, it ain't. You're as strong as your weakest link. Do Chinese depend on entertainment to say we're making it? They may have a dispute with each other, but they will never cross each other over your black ass. They'll never put you higher. They're thinking about the one mission. The one mission. Now I understand there are differences with many of them there, but they look alike, right? You have poor, you have rich. But at the end of the day, they are not going to let anybody else come over them as a people. And this is why they are sent everywhere all over the world to bring things back to the country and exploit the land that's there. Yet you have many native-born Africans here who say, no, I want to go to America. I want to go where it is better. You want to go over there and work a job 16 hours? You want to go over there and work a job where a supervisor hates you? But they won't hate you as a native-born African first when you get in these jobs. I'm going to tell you like it is. They will tell you to stay away from the Black Americans because they're lazy and they complain, which is true a lot of the times. But see, when they say that, it's because really they know the tricks of the trade on that job. So here you are feeling better, having an attitude, feeling better from what the white man told you, and he's paying you and put you in the position. You've been there 2 years, you become a supervisor several times over. And the black man and black woman who've been there, who know the deal on how these people act, right? They don't want to do better for them because they know the deal on how to live. And don't be the one who has some knowledge. Don't be the one who's not talking about how many women you screwed on the weekend. Don't be the one to sit there in the break room on your job reading a book. They don't like that. It better be a sex book or better be some dollar coins, whatever, some street stuff. But it better not be anything to educate you or something that you're into. They don't like that. Nigga, you a threat. You better be in there. Man, sure, man. I can't believe it, no. I had 3 girls, man, on a Friday night, right? They was all in there, man. We doing some reggae stuff. What did you do, Otis? Man, I had one over here. I had another one over there. You're no threat. You're no threat. And the next night, man, we got mugged up. You're no threat. If you stay silent and don't tell your business and they know that you're about something, they wonder what's in your head. They'll always send that little Sambo on the job who've been working there so long as a snitch to hear what you're about. And they will echo what you say. Yeah, man, black people need to stick together. Yeah, man. And they go right back. Oh, he militant. I think he hate white people. It's just too much of the same thing that I've seen over the last few decades of my life, really ever since I came into this earth. I saw my father go through certain things with little Sambos and Coombs. And he was not one of those clown Jamaicans. My father's from Jamaica, my mother's from America. He was a conservative, hardworking, very much aware dude. When you see him walk into the room, you heard the theme from Shaft. He told it like it was to me, and I didn't have to go through the changes of, oh, but I thought we were all going to live together in a multicultural society. I never thought about that because he pointed out to me what it was. He didn't say all white people are bad, but all white people don't love you. Because when the line is drawn in the sand, they gonna go with their own. Dummy, you're gonna defend them to the end. Oh, but they're not all bad. No, they're not. They can't all. And they will shoot you just as hard in your head, or just stop you from attaining a certain goal because you can't go but so high. Now you'll be a token. You can achieve success as far as money is concerned. Oprah Winfrey has done a wonderful job of that. Remember the time the cab wouldn't stop her? Remember the time, what was it, out in Paris? She was trying to buy something and the racist situation happened. As much money as she had, she got the nigga wake up call. So none of you all, I don't care how much of the secret handshakes you know or how much you a nigga to them. And you a nigga usually to each other. And it's a damn shame because that's the acid that's going to eat through the surface and the interior of us. And 2023, we should not be in this situation. And this is why on this program, I'll be talking about all different kind of things, interests, because it's not just going to be a black people thing. I will always be pro-black, but for the ones who are trying to make a change. But I'm not going to sit here and give your ass a pass because you are. I'm going to be just as hard on you. What are you going to do to make your, this is 2023, y'all. Time is moving faster. Look at my face. Go back and look at videos of me 10 years ago. I'm aging too. We only got but so much time to make a difference and change the trajectory for the future. And you got to let these do-nothings go. I'm not competing with them. I don't compete with nobody except myself. That's how I get better every single day, whether you see it or not, incrementally, every single day. I have to achieve something in my lane and learn a little bit about the other lanes and enhance what I do. I set up last night making a different banner. Boom, that's one thing. I'm going to do other things and other types of shows and still maintain what I did, I was supposed to do. The last 2 days, me and Mr. SCURV went out, they got late, fell asleep. I felt funny. I'm like, man, I haven't done anything online for 2 days. It's not like it felt good, but it didn't feel bad either. But now I'm going to come back out swinging even more. If I lose a round, I'm going to come back and get you in the next round. If I don't knock you out, I'm going to severely damage you and cripple you to the point where you can't go on too long. That's my mentality. But don't let anybody, and I don't let anybody get in my way. I'll steamroll you. I'll insult you. I'll call you out. I don't care. I'm in the old man phase right now. I don't mind wearing striped pants. I don't mind wearing polka dot shirts. I don't mind wearing the cheap shoes from Walmart because I know what I got in here is a lifetime of wisdom and experience of things that I've learned. And we all are learning things, but sometimes we don't want to face it. We don't want to go there. We're too timid. And like I say here, very disappointed in many of the people who are here. See, when we come to the motherland, we romanticize about being here. We start kissing the ground. And yes, I'm guilty of a little bit of that too, but I'm not stupid. Many have come here and realized what it is. And the bottom line is, many don't look at us as brothers. We're foreigners. They will talk, oh, my brother, oh, my sister, whatever. But they're like, okay, let me see how much money I can get out of this person. It's about that money. A couple girls here asked me to put a baby in them. I don't even know them. Hey, how you doing? Like, well, okay, how you doing? Oh, you're a handsome older man. Whatever. Do you want baby? Want baby? How I look going to somebody's high school graduation at 80 years old? Are you crazy? You know what I mean? But it's about get. Why don't you unify? And then you have some who are here who speak different dialects in the same country. Now, they might be from different tribes and they're against each other. And that comes from the one who doesn't want you to be together. And it's about getting for yourself. That's the way many here think. And they will go nowhere while they worship the white Jesus. They wait for the white Jesus to come bust through the sky. Therefore, any white-looking thing is a representative of Jesus, even if they don't even believe in Jesus. You got more churches out here, but you got more poverty out here, poverty of the mind. And we could do so much better. All of this rich land, cheap land, rich land up on the mountainside and here and there, and you know how to build. You can't take your time and get together with other brothers and build something and make an Airbnb and charge UK, America money, but y'all have to live under the same roof for a while. You can't see that far into the future. But the colonizer has you by the balls. You see here, the difference is, and most times, those who are in school, they don't say Ghana is bad or Africa is bad. They just tell you how good America and the UK is. So you look automatically and think like, there's nothing here. I need to go to the better schools. I need to go to the better land. And there's so many white people over there. I need to be over there. And then when you get to America, you don't realize, you say, wait a second, how come so many people are homeless? How come so many people are on drugs? How come the cops are going after people? They don't do that back in my country. How come I'm making more money and I can't make ends meet? They may have made less money here, but if they're unified, they have much more to work with and a peace of mind, the beautiful weather, the non-GMO foods. But you threw that all away to be with a wicked one who don't like you, who wants to see you wiped off the face of the earth. We are being erased right now subtly and don't even realize it. And then we want to go out somewhere and march. March for what? What is marching going to do? That's like back in the day around Christmas time, they had that TV program, March of the Wooden Soldiers. Wooden soldiers don't have no brains. I don't know how they animated it. Dun, 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 dun. Something happens, politicians, the government knows, oh, the niggas are going to act up for a while. We're going to have Ben Crump coming around because we ordained him. We're going to have Reverend Al Sharpton coming around saying rhymes, looking like somebody's seahorse. You ever see them seahorses in the daggone comics sideways and they got the hair a certain way? Ever since he lost weight, he looked like a seahorse, Al Sharpton. And he doesn't do nothing for his community. People say, well, oh, no, you can't say he doesn't do anything for his community. His community is the LGBTQ community. Didn't you know? James Brown, when he sung that song, I feel good. How was he feeling good? Because his boy Al Sharpton was on his knees in front of him not to pray. That's an inside thing I know. And most of you all who are in the know, you know, but I don't care no more. I'm going to say it. They're more concerned about what they do in the secret, but the public persona, they wheel these people out, and Al Sharpton is ordained to stick it to the man and say what he has to say against the system. And they pat his head. Good job, boy. You make the niggers feel good for a while, like we have a chance. You said what you want to say, because most of them talk anyway. But when you talk about real things, you're a real threat. And that's one of the purposes of social media, to keep our minds suspended, because we surely get heated on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, the few of the blacks that are on Twitter, right? Instagram and whatever. We start talking about a point, and we in there writing books. Yet we can't say, oh, you want to write a book? Oh, I could never do that. I just don't have the time. But you write chapters every day on social media, arguing with strangers who you don't even know. These could be white folks with black avatars, keeping our minds suspended in cyberspace. And we talk about the metaverse. I ain't going to no metaverse. You're already in the metaverse. They changed the name from Facebook to metaverse, or the meta, or whatever it is. You there and suspended. That's why you're addicted to your phone, because you got to see that little red dot on Facebook when somebody responded in a group room arguing with you, and you'll sit up all night long arguing with them, forgetting that you got to go to work, and you wake up looking like a raccoon with them dark circles under your eyes, but you mad. Then you get to work and they still keep going, and you waste your time. Social media is a place where they plant agents, thought influencers. That is not a nice term. Influence your thoughts. Don't you have thoughts of your own? I'm not trying to influence nobody no kind of way. I'm just trying to get you to think for your own. You can like me or you can hate me. I'm just as effective if you hate me. You know why? Because at the end of the day, you're going to think. I'm not trying to get you in no group. I'm not trying to get you in no FBA, no NBA. You know what I mean? You know, no LGBTQ, whatever it is. We see ourselves certain ways, and we categorize ourselves in certain ways, but never in the way of unity. Other people can have their groups, but we don't. It's never in the way of unity. And if we have something that's unified and we expose our ideology online, the enemy is there watching. And it's just a matter of time before he sends his agents there to mess things up. Let me see how Mr. SCURV is doing here. Mr. SCURV, you knocked out or you're up? Mr. SCURV, come on now. I know you hear me. I got an extra mic here waiting for you. She tipped out of it. I had a microphone right there waiting, and she just tipped away. You ever see a little kitty cat right there near you? And he starts backing up and backing up. You look around, he gone. And before he left, you see the tail flopping like, yeah, I'm a fool, this fool. Mr. SCURV, you're sleeping. She had a lot of good things that I wanted her to come on and say, but she will come on and say it. I thought a bit, no, she wasn't going to show her face. She was going to sit there and talk. So let me just mute this mic over there. But anyway, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to see if she's truly sleeping or on the phone. So I'm going to play a little bit of this music, and I'll be right back.
John Hawkins showed up in our country, telling us of a land filled with luxury. He said, black man, follow me to America. There you'll find more gold for your labor. Our foreparents were tricked onto his boat. Since that time we've been wrestling.
Yes, I'm back. Okay, this still playing. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat room. She fell out. I mean, straight knocked out. So she said she'll come back another day, and we'll do it that way. Anyway, let me show my face again, get myself back in position. So anybody in the chat room, I have not even been looking at the chat room. I've been going off. I want to continue to go off. Let me see. Pope Leo X, how are you, my brother? Just want to extend to anybody if they want to make a call or call in. The number is right there in the bottom. You can call straight. It won't create any long distance bills for you because it's an app that pipes it through straight through. But I'll take a call or two right now to anybody who wants to do it. The caller number is 407-590-0755. Folks like, how you got a Florida number and you live in Ghana? Like I said, I work through an app that comes through Florida that allows me to get calls directly. Great company. So anybody who's looking to do that, I don't get any kickbacks or anything, but I highly recommend them. If you ever want to utilize that, contact me and I'll tell you all about it. And like I said, if you keep your internet with you, like I have a small module that I keep in my pocket, what I pay for the year, $143. I don't have any T-Mobile. I can't have that here. Locally, you top off what you have, but you're limited. But here, as long as you keep your internet, you have that app and everything inputted, and any text message that comes to you, it goes straight to your email. So that's the only way you have to check it, or voicemails if you want to get any voicemail messages. Also, we have WhatsApp, but that's another alternative and whatnot. So I walk the street just talking, and all I pay is $143 for the whole year. I'm like, that's another good reason why I left America, that monopoly on the cell phones and stuff. But let me see. If you want to find out if someone's an agent, beat them up and smoke weed with them. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm seeing the term agents. Yeah. There's too many of them out here, and we don't mean that they have to walk around looking like the Men in Black, with the suit and tie on and the dark glasses, whatever. They could be talking some serious pro-Black jargon, convincing master orators. Just they speak stuff, and you paralyzed by how good they speak. You say this person is the answer, and they're getting what they want. They're getting the attention they want. They're getting the adulation they want. But what are they really doing? See, me, people put me in that category. Well, Lance, you can be an agent. Listen, I didn't sign up to come on YouTube. When I started online as an artist, go to LANCESCURV.com and hit the art page. I'm an artist. I like to write. I've written enough articles on a blog that could have filled up 25 books. So now I got to get my game organized to be able to do so. So I can call myself an author and go back to my original art, which separates me from the YouTube talking heads. But we were given this social media stuff to permeate into our mind. It was all fun and games in the beginning. Now in the age of censorship, you can't say certain things. Why is it that before you could say certain things and they didn't care because you were in the minority? But now that more knowledge is going out into the world and we're all becoming aware a little more, not all of us, we're given the knowledge and the wisdom, but it's like filling up a cup that has a hole in the bottom of it. They can't hold on to it because also with the knowledge that has been put out there online, and I see it. When I first came online in 2001, I've been out here 22 years doing something every day. I've been interviewed by people in different shows before there was even a YouTube. I had my own following, a massive following. They're still out there, but I don't do Black Planet anymore. Way back, 352,000 followers, whatever. So in the Black community, they may look at me and say, he looked familiar, because I didn't have too many pictures of my face out there, but they know me through my work. The area of expertise that I enjoy, that I utilize and put online. But the more interviews that I did and the more that I spoke, they said, hey, man, you need to start doing this. They got this thing called streaming now. You need to do that. I used to just upload my stuff on or whatever. I had no agenda. I was just expressing myself. And I promised myself 22 years ago when I got online, I said, I am going to be me. I am going to be me. I'm not trying to groom myself to be this, what, look, I'll influence in a good way, but I'm not looking for nothing for nobody. I'm just a dude like you meet on the bus stop that's talking to you, or the doctor's office. It's like, yeah, I like the way that dude talk. I don't come with any agenda after that. Follow me, let's do this, and we are that, and whatever. And black people are so gullible because I blame the church mentality. Even if you're not in the church, we're always looking for something outside of ourselves. Like you can't work, right? You can't work within what you have. And we're all different. Yes, we're built similar. We all have kidneys and hearts and brains and lungs and livers and pancreas. We all have those things. But you can't put a Toyota engine in a Ford vehicle unless you have adapters. See? So we have unique abilities about us, but we want to lay that down and let somebody fight our battles for us. He is our leader. No, you are your leader. And if you unify with those who think alike with you and you have an ultimate goal, you can move mountains. It's called synergy, synergistic. You get 2 people working together, it's like 10, maybe more. You get 10 people working together, it's like 200-300 working together. You see? So me, I choose to do my stuff on my own. I will join with those who are like-minded to make an entertaining platform, even if the way you think is a little different. We need to learn from each other because maybe it could be an elevation for us, or by them exposing how they think, they can elevate if they have to get rid of a little bit of what they thought they knew, right? So that's the process of learning. Like I said, it's done incrementally. You come into the world, you're a little baby, you're helpless. You start to walk on shaky legs, and now you know how to run. Now you can fight, keep your balance, whatever, boom, and knock whoever you want to knock out. But it's gradual. But too many people got their head stuck in the sand. How they say it? Face down, ass up. You know, in a strip club, or you know, in the bedroom, if you have your face down and your ass up, what's about to happen next? Somebody's going to mount you and pump you, pump and dump propaganda. When you're face down, ass up in these schools, they're going to put propaganda in your head, and you're going to walk around and you're going to have to fight what they put in your head before you can pull that away. And so many of us don't want to understand and don't want to know that, man, I got to erase all this stuff that I was told, all of these perceptions that were put into my head that were lies to keep me impotent. Impotent doesn't mean a limp dick, right? We got Viagra for that, and that's wrong too. What happened to the Viagra we need to get our minds up? They'll never give us that. They'll deplete us, lead us toward foolishness, lead us toward endeavors that will leave us dead or unable to do anything in the world, and we die. And after that, we're forgotten. I don't care if people know me or not. You understand? But let me leave my mark. I'll leave my mark in somebody's spirit and somebody's soul and somebody's mind. If it's a conversation where I can influence one person to do better and you don't know who I am, that's good. It doesn't have LANCESCURV. I made that name up. My government name is LANCESCURV. And I took the I and the N off and just jammed them 2 bad boys together, capitalized the L, capitalized the S, put some fancy graphics on there. You think I believe that? You shouldn't believe it either, because I am not that. I'm just a regular black man. And again, I have to correct myself because no black man is regular, right? But I'm just saying, I'm not thinking that high of myself. I'm a servant. What if we were all servants for each other? You know how it is when you're in the bedroom and you got 2 givers, you have a fabulous night. But if you have somebody who's like, do me, I'm not doing, that ain't gonna last too long, because we all want to get done right. But we're not done right in this world. We're screwed over in this world. Big time. I just can't understand it. Oh, like I said, Mrs. SCURV fast asleep. She was up by the property all day long from the crack of dawn. I mean, I didn't get to bed till what, 6 o'clock? And she woke up right after that. I thought she was in the bed. I reached over and felt nothing but pillow. I'm like, God, dog, you left early today. So she brought home some greens and she made some spelt dumplings and made some other things and made it not greens that were growing up on the property. We didn't have to buy those. They grew. You understand? Even before things have been manifested, maybe in another few months, stuff is up there growing. Sweet pineapples. Sweet pineapples. I had some pineapple yesterday that if I was diabetic, I would have passed that. It was so sweet. But that's healthy, good stuff for you. But all I'm saying is that we need to come back and detox. So many of us aware of, oh God, I passed gas the other day, man. I couldn't believe it. It was stunk so bad. I need to clean out. I need a detox. What happened to detox in this thing here? Because the actions that come from a sick mind are very sick and toxic. We talk this stuff. You see pastors in churches and different conventions, and one is trying to talk better than the other one, and some of the cronies of one are talking against the other one. That's no place you want to be. Politics, the same thing. They're all trying to rip you off and keep you blind. They'll fight with each other. It's like a wrestling match where they all pretend that they're punching each other. I'm not talking college wrestling. I'm talking the other one, which is tedious to get in shape for. I understand that. But when they hit each other over the head with chairs and had little bags with blood and they hide in their mouth and just boom, all this blood comes out, it's fake. It's entertainment. Like I said, you are the leader of your own life. You are the president of your life. Get up and do for yourself. If you can't make big strides now, you have to understand the big strides will come once you take the little strides. You can't just sit there and think, I'm going to hit the jackpot. I'm going to go to the gym for one day and I'm going to be greater than Mike Tyson. I'm going to go to the bodybuilding one day and I'm going to be better than Phil Heath or Ronnie Coleman or Arnold Schwarzenegger, whoever you understand to be your epitome. You got to be willing to give your life for something. Because you know what? You ain't going to be here forever anyway. You're not. You're going to be gone. Look how people are dropping now. I got my day coming. But you know what? Instead of me sitting down, worried about what somebody else is doing, making dummy profiles to go peek on people that have blocked me, what is that doing for me? And we have to think. It's not for all of us to be in the forefront. I understand. We have different personalities. But I'd rather say to myself, and I don't think I'm some whatever, but you know what? I'm not going to not be confident. I'm the closest thing. And I'm saying it's not just for me, but I'm saying it for all of you out here. I'm the closest thing to Superman that you ever done seen, because I've had so many obstacles thrown at me and I had to smash them down, knock it this way, boom, 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 and get it out my way. And I'm still here. I caught a couple scars. I may get knocked down a couple times. I might have caught a loss that was temporary that I learned from, but I'm still here. And when you get to this age and you're speaking this way, it's a problem with the oppressor. They're going to try to smear you. They're going to send people to be cool with you and learn all your secrets and they're going to run out and whatever. I don't give a damn. I'm going to keep on stepping because that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to be a behind the scenes keyboard flunky. I'm here to stand in front of you and tell you I'm human just like anybody else, but nothing's going to stop me from achieving my goals. And if I leave this earth before I achieve certain goals, and I guess it wasn't meant to be, but what I did achieve starting from nothing, a sperm hitting the egg, which is a great thing. But look how many people, like those other sperms that didn't make it, where are they now? The great talkers, the great so-and-so, whatever they may be, where are they now? Yes, we all have to transition. What I'm saying, if they're alive, why aren't they raising sand now? Why did they lose steam? I'm not losing steam. I'm gaining steam. I'm gaining momentum, even if I have to go up the hill. You understand? If things are against you, I'm still going to do my thing. You ain't stopping me. You ain't going to shut me up. You can smear and say whatever you want. You ain't going to outdo me. You ain't going to outwork me. I'm not going to be outworked. You outwork and you outthink your enemy who's trying to bring you down because you bring the right message and they're working for the other people, but they try to act like you and talk like you. Be careful. This YouTube and social media is all about brainwashing and making you see reality for something that it's not. See, the whole thing is that I have many years where social media didn't exist. So I'm not influenced by something fake or something real that's twisted a little bit. That's how they get us to take the poison. They put a little sugar in it. A little poison tastes nasty. Not that I've tasted it. I remember this girl I knew named Poison. She didn't taste too good. That was a joke, y'all. Y'all can laugh. I'm still human. But anyway, they put more sugar in the poison. and you just gobble it up. Fruit Loops, Sugar Smacks, Frankenberry, Count Chocula, all the sugar. That's something you should be clogging your child up with. Then they go to school and get all of the stuff that doesn't even tell me, please. Make it make sense. But we're so distinguished and we have our nose up because the oppressor gave us some kind of status that we parade around on each other. Yes, it is game over for most Black people because from what I'm seeing now, we're all not going to make it. You have a chance and a time to speak to those who have an inkling that maybe you need to try something different. The answer is not going to come by running back to the system that is trying to kill you off. We're tools to them so they can get to the certain point that they want to get to. Now, that old tool that's full of rust and full of dust and dirt, you don't need it anymore. The country's built for them. We have others that are easing into position, like Mexicans and others that are willing to do the other work that many of us are not willing to do. But they are unified. They have their fights. They have their differences. They drink their little Corona beers and fight over some little short chick, right? We understand that. When it comes time to dealing with us, they're going to undercut us, and the U.S. government is going to make sure they do by giving them the white privilege card. Everybody who can come on in from Ukraine, get a nice place to live, cell phone, living in a good apartment, and they complaining about wanting more. How is it that they can come here and get all of that, and those of us who built the country can't get a damn thing? And I'm not waiting for it. I'm not waiting for it. You ain't gonna trick me with that. Well, one day, I think in 5 years we get reparations. I think in 10 more years or 7 more years. Oh, damn, I'm 80-something years old now. I got a physical ailment. I might be out of here. You ain't never gonna get it. You ain't never gonna get it. They're gonna give it to everybody else. Somebody talking about me. Every time I just eye, the right eye itches a little bit, somebody run their mouth, but it should. I'm on the show. And we ain't getting nothing. Why waste your time? Why waste your time? And if they gave it to us anyway, guess what we gonna do? We're gonna go right down to the dealership that's owned by some Italian man and spend all our money on a vehicle. We're gonna go somewhere and try to push ourselves up where we're not wanted in the neighborhood. They're gonna charge us higher, and after a while, they're gonna finally get a way to get us out of there. Eminent domain. They'll go downtown and make up some reason to get your black ass on out of there. When are we gonna really wake up? I'm not asking you to stay asleep. I'm out of here. Stay asleep. Suffer if you want. Don't listen. It's fine with me. Before it wasn't fine with me. But now, how many times can you slow yourself down? You on the railroad tracks and there's a locomotive coming. I'm saying, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Yo, pop, pop, wake up, smacking you, kicking you. Wake up, man. There's a time I have to jump off those tracks because you know what? If you don't wake up and I keep trying to wake you up, I'm getting run over. And I'm not saying everybody has to come to Africa. There are cultural differences here. There are different things here, but I'm a person who pretty much stays in myself. I can get along with a lot of people. I can be, like I said, I can be the life of the party, but being locked inside or locked in my yard, doing my thing, I'm so vast on the inside. You can't put me in solitary confinement. You can't isolate me. You can't make me mad if you don't invite me to the party, because in my head and within myself, I am my own party. I can do this every day. You can give me a different subject to talk about, and I can talk about it in depth every single day. I'm not going to talk to you about being a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon. That's something I don't want to do. But about life and human nature, I experienced so much of it. I can break it down to you, and I can read most entities around me that are fake ass, like a cheap dime store novel. Like a cheap novel where you read and you get, where you got 3 more chapters, but it's so cheaply written, you already know what's going to happen in the plot. That's how I can read people. I'm not going to apologize for that ability. And that takes meditation, that takes time, and that takes being screwed over in life a couple times, betrayed a couple times, thrown under the bus a couple times. I thank those who have done that, because now you've honed me and gave me even more superpowers to avoid bigger bullshit before it comes. Exactly. Try me. I'm like that old fighter who's on the other side of his prime, but I got so much experience that even if my reflexes are a little slower, I will beat most of you on. You'll say, damn, how'd that old man do it? because you got experience. You know what it's like to get hit. You know what it's like to get hit when you're down, when you're lowest moment, and people screw you over and think they have you destroyed, and they ha. Oh, he's coming back new again. We thought we could write him off. You know how many times I've been written off for dead? I'm not saying physically dead, but oh, Lance ain't gonna come out of this one. We already got him set up to fail, and he gonna fail. It's 2023, and I got just as much fight inside of me. I'm a ghost and a nightmare to some people. Some people wish I would go away because I'm a reminder of what was done. And I got a long memory. I don't hold grudges. I just got a long memory. Do you get mad at the phone company that when you didn't pay the phone company 8 years ago, you go to T-Mobile? Well, it's been 8 years, so let me see if I can get this account because I know I owe them $1,500. And you go to the new place in there, it's nice and AC is nice and people are friendly. And you say, I would like to get a phone. Okay, let's check you up. What is your name, please? And you give me your name and you see their face drop. Mr. Brown, there's a situation my computers tell me, and they weren't even working in the company. They've been there for like a year and a half, and this happened 8 years ago. And they're bringing up something that you defaulted on. You can't get away from it. Especially now with those things, that's the computer age. But this is how we do each other. And if you don't catch it from me, if you did me wrong, you're going to catch it from somebody else. And you're going to think about the people you screwed over. This is why instead of me trying to screw somebody over, I'd rather leave you alone. Because karma is a wonderful thing. And like I said in one of my videos, sometimes you do have to ball up your fist and fight. Sometimes you got to ball up your fist and fight. Even if you know physically that you might lose, you got to show that you ain't going to whip the spirit out of me, that you ain't going to get out of this thing unscathed either. You might beat me down, kick me down, but you know what? You got to kill my spirit. And every time you see me, we're going to have to fight. You ain't going to make, oh, well, he beat my ass 10 years ago. So no, because you know now, like those little embers in the fire pit, right? If you don't extinguish those things out completely, it will come back to not only be a flame, but to be a fire with the memory of what was done. Again, not holding grudges, but just keeping history. I can't forget certain things. I can't forget certain ways I was made to feel in certain ways. It's not going to happen again. And I'm not going to be afraid to talk about it. Especially these two-faced frauds that they portray themselves as all of this and living wicked. I got my little vices, but it ain't like that. It ain't like that. Somebody sent me a picture today. I woke up late. I wanted to get up early and I wanted to go to the beach. Mrs. SCURV, she commits to going up there. I run the platform and do what I have to do paperwork-wise or anything that comes up. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the beach today. I ain't going to lie. I'd show it on the screen. Somebody sent me a picture of a naked lady and her titties were... Hamada. What do you mean, Lance? You're married. You haven't. Look, I'm a man. I must admit that I held it up. I was like, I never seen nothing like this before. And I've seen a lot of those before. And I just moved on. We all have things as human beings that get us and grab us in our mind. Stop freaking out and stop making people make you feel guilty for being human. I'm not saying it's all about titties. I'm just saying whatever it may be. You might be a righteous person, but you might want to have a little drink one night at home. I can't, oh, you're a wino. You shouldn't be doing that. That's crazy. Be yourself. Conquer yourself. Know that you will make misjudgments, but never mistakes, as long as you're trying. See, it's not about, when I did bodybuilding years ago, it wasn't about how much you can lift or, it was about not getting injuries. Because guys have let their ego get in the way and want to lift more, which does nothing for your appearance. Lifting more does not make any difference for your appearance unless you want to be a power lifter. Power lifters don't care what they look like. They want to move the weight from point A to point B. They will even eat all kind of things. Most of them are drugged up anyway. But as a bodybuilder who's developing your physique, you use the weights as tools to carve out the physique you want. Don't go in there trying to be a bodybuilder and you actually acting like a power lifter. You don't know what you'll end up looking like, and you'll accrue so many injuries. I'm saying that to say this. We need to stay in our lanes, do what we must do for ourselves. We can learn from others, but we can't take the other person's whole book because our situation and our beginnings were different. We all have a unique road to manifest ourselves to our highest level. A different road, no matter what. All the buses downtown are there. Many of the routes from downtown or whatever city you live in will overlap for a few blocks before it takes off on its own. Some may turn the same way as the other one and turn another way. We all appear to be the same at the root when we're born. Now, we're not going to look the same unless there's one father screwing around with everybody. But as we develop, we learn we have unique abilities and qualities, but we've given them up. We used to take pride back in the 70s, from what I remember, in being unique. We don't want to wear the same thing that everybody else wore. We don't want to put a part in our hair the same way the next person did. When we went to the young ladies that were dressed much more decent, we treated them decent because they were decent. But you went to them with your little rap. That's what they call it, man. I'm going to rap to this girl a little bit. Now, she wasn't a girl. She's a woman. You said that to your friend. And you talked the talk. And later on, the friend, hey, man, how far did you go? Oh, yeah, she gave me a phone number. We're talking. It's not about what you did in the bed sexually, whatever, because a woman is a very special thing. And that's what we have to understand that we have to do. As men, we are attracted to women, no doubt. We love the way they look. We love the way they smell, the way they walk. It's like the song years ago, which would not be a hit now. I don't know if you remember the song by the Moments and the Whatnots. The Whatnots, yeah, WHTNAUTS, Whatnots. They're the one that made that song that did the video on Help Is on the Way. The Moments and the Whatnots made a song, I think it was back in 1973 or 74, named Girls. If YouTube wasn't so hung up on copyright, I'd play it now. How did girls, I like them fat, I like them tall, some skinny, some small. I got to have them all, you know. Girls love the way the things they know, love the things they flow. Got to be where they go. Pretty girls, sunshine in the hair. I forgot some of the words. I'm gonna play it. But when you played that tune as a man, and it wasn't girls like you some pedophile or something like that. I was what, 11 years old? But even when they said girls, it was just to say women, the females, you know? And a lot of younger people understood that, and older people, right? They ain't saying no little girls like I'm looking at somebody 9 years old. You need to be dipped in duty and shot for stinking if that was the case, and thrown in the jail and throw away the key. But the bottom line, like I said, we had appreciation for the female energy. We knew it was everything. These days, there's so much anger toward women, from men to women and from women to men. We don't even honor ourselves like that. That's the very thing that kept us glued together. It's not just about sex, but as adults back in the day when times were hard, we knew we can go home and encourage each other, cook a good meal together and eat the meal and go lay down and make some good love because you were connected. There's nothing better than a black woman making love to you, telling you, baby, it's going to be all right. And you know you got the best woman in the whole world. And you doing whatever it is that you do. I don't care what it is. We know the mandatory things we do. You do what you want, but there was love behind that. It wasn't just outright lust, but there was a sprinklings of the physical attraction when you see what you're doing. You're like, ooh, but you loved her. You committed yourself to her. We don't have that anymore. The oppressor has gotten into our heads so much that here we are typing on how bad black women are. And we got black women, not all, but some who are typing how bad black men are. We're part of the same root, steeped in the same issues and pointing to each other like each one caused it. And somebody saying, oh, we got these niggers where we want to have them. That way we can move on in. And one of the other things that brought tears to my eyes to find out, there was a videotape, and I ran out of time because I was going to record it and play pieces of it. And later on, I'll drop it down in the comment section. And also on LANCESCURV.com, the show is there on the homepage and on the page dedicated for this particular show. And there's a chat room there that's perpetual that you can go on and chat, make private rooms. Even if there's no show going on, you can go on there. Listen, y'all, I pay for that. Go utilize it. But down below, there's a comment section. We need to keep these conversations going, even if it's 5 years that go by and you see this video, because we have some issues that are ever increasing that we're not facing. If you hear some noise on your car and the check engine light comes on and you ignore it, and that sound and that noise increases, there's something wrong. And later on, you're going to pay way more when you go to the mechanic. He's going to say, hey, you know, if you caught this early, you could have bought this little piece for $15. But no, this is a sensor that's off and it created these other problems. We're in denial of a lot of things, but we want to dress up and say how blessed and highly favored we are. And we're headed on the road to destruction. Just like the song back in the 80s, we had Public Enemy and all the different rappers on it. Self-destruction. We're headed for self-destruction. It's true. Many of us have nice cars and nice homes and all this stuff, but the most of us, like I said, we're no greater than the weakest link on our chain. And so when we sit up in these nice beds, nice plush rug, house smelling good, big screen TV, and we sit there with a stomach full of good food and we're watching TV on how bad the world is, understand that that can be you. When I worked in corrections, I understood that, you know what? And I told a lot of the guys that worked there, right? That worked there and who lived there, that I can end up in a prison jumpsuit or a jail set of blues, because the color was blues. You know, different facilities have different colors, orange, whatever it may be. I'm just one misjudgment or one mistake or misjudgment on who I am from somebody else who wants to get me in there. I've had to deal with so much. Even when I was out of there, they were still investigating me. Right? What was it? Started with an M. Metropolitan Bureau of Investigation. Back in 2005 and 2006, because of my online activities, they were trying to figure out if I was a member of some type of terrorist group, Nation of Islam, Black Panthers, Rastafarians. My father was Jamaican, all of that stuff, because of how I got along with so many different types of people. With their redneck asses, they couldn't understand that I can get in there with 80 inmates who did all kinds of crimes or whatever have you, but they understood that we had a kindred spirit and understanding and respect. I did my job, but they didn't like how I did it. There must be something shady with him. There's never an incident when he's around. My very presence was soothing to the brothers in there. You understand? Because I understood, but I didn't make any excuse. If you did what you did, you need to be in there. Certain types, you pedophile, get away from me. I ain't got nothing for you. But if you robbed the store to feed your hungry baby and you've been trying to look for work and you've been working all these years and you stole a couple things and they got you caught up, I'm not your enemy. Because you know what? My kids ain't going to starve. And I probably do the same thing. Maybe I do it a little slicker, but we all think we can get away with things. But I would never chastise nobody. If you're real, they recognize you. Like they say, real recognizes real. That's something you can't fake. I didn't make any script for this particular program, but I knew in my heart what I felt and what I was going to say. But one thing that really hurts me here in the motherland, and this is to show you how certain races think so far in advance, that certain countries out here, you cannot buy land if you're a foreigner, no matter what you look like. Now, some of you can prove that you have a lineage to that country. You know, we have the whole DNA thing or whatever, which I don't know so much about that. But there are people like the Chinese, like many Indians from India, that are coming here that they cannot buy land. They think so far in advance. Do you know what they do? They knock up a Ghanaian young lady, Nigerian, whatever country, to have children with them. So now they're in. It doesn't change their race. But if it's a Ghanaian and she has a Ghanaian child and that child gets to be a certain age, you can buy land in that child's name and do business. This is how far they're going to get over here. And we have some dumb Negroes over there. And I'm not saying that everybody has to buy land and come over here. All I'm saying, they know the value of this soil over here, while we don't. We in America paying higher and higher rents of a place we don't own, or a higher and higher mortgage, and probably be so old before it's paid for, and yet we can do something and leapfrog ahead of so many people. You on a highway, and you in a slow lane, and it's deadlocked. and you see the fast lane just moving. I'm going to try to get over to the fast lane and get moving. I'm home, and my friend who is next to me in that same lane in his car, I'm calling him, where are you? Oh, I just moved 2 exits up. Timing is everything, but you have to, in the art of war, you got to know how to think. Every problem or challenge, as I like to say, has a solution. And many of us don't think of solutions. We just see what is right there, but we don't see the future of what can be. I'm so excited about what I'm going to do tonight. We're going to have our show with Positively Angela, but I'm so excited about a couple little moves I'm going to do online to set something else up on a business level. That I can make a trickle of income. And it won't be a trickle, it ain't $1 million, but if I can do a little bit that way every day, get with other people who encourage me and who are in position to push what I do, and I can do it and not even say anything here on this platform. See, some people are, oh yeah, I got to get more hits. I got to, whatever. With the people that I know, I can merge other businesses into this that have nothing to do with this because they know what I do. You see what I mean? We got to think beyond. So if all I made from YouTube was $10 a month, there might be some other things that I make an extra $3,000 or $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month after a year is $48,000. If I'm gonna say it this way, if your shit is paid for, your land is paid for, and you make that and get a little check, whatever, you're good. And I ain't got time to run around spending money stupid. I want to buy more land. I want to do more things. I want to encourage other people who really want to know, not to go, I'm going to find out and I'm going to tell this one and tell that one. Because you know what? If you ain't motivated, I ain't telling you nothing. I ain't telling you nothing. No way. The world has changed, but our mission shouldn't when it's a righteous mission. The problem is we get too swayed by what's going on around us, the illusion of it. It's like when you go into the amusement park and they have that situation where they have a screen with a roller coaster ride on it, but you are on solid ground, but the chair moves a little bit up and down, and you put these goggles on. Hey, oh my God, because you believe in the illusion of what's put in front of you. And we're so caught up in the illusion, and on a spiritual level also we could be caught up in the illusion. You see that beautiful girl, young men, and you see them shapes and them curves that she has, and those pretty lips she has, and those pretty teeth and those eyes and that hair. Or even if she doesn't have hair, I've seen some beautiful knocked down, drag out women who are bald like me and just as beautiful. Even if they put hair on, they wouldn't look as good. There's something about them. Some of us got head shapes that, you know what I mean? I don't know about mine. I look all beat up, right? But she can be so appealing. And this is not to demonize women. I'm just using an example of a certain type. But deep down, and what you don't see because you believe the illusion, that woman could be a monster that's going to tear your life up. But you can't get enough of her. You can't understand that. Not that you're supposed to think that about anybody, but take your time and don't believe the illusion. Same thing for some men, for some of you ladies. You meet a man and he's so perfect to you. You see a few little physical flaws and dings and dents, like the scratch and dent sale. You know, the scratches are on the side that's going to go up against the wall anyway, but it's mechanically perfect. So you're getting a good 25%, 30% discount on it, right? But you don't see what's inside. He could be a monster. So charismatic, so alluring, so this and so that, but he's a monster that will rip you away from your trajectory of greatness because you got so caught up in him and damaged in your mind. And you have your friends say, oh, what happened to her? She was deemed in high school to be the most successful whatever. If only she stayed on track. But so many of us see something we think we want and give up our divine destiny and end up in a sorry state of affairs in a place that it's like, how the hell did I get here? It's just like the song by the Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime. And you may find yourself in a beautiful house, with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Doom, doom, doom. Doom, doom, doom. That was 1981. I love that jam. Yeah, it was a white boy who made it, but I loved it. It was a little reggae beat to it. One day you can be somewhere, and one day you can be somewhere else. Just like that. Ain't that something? Come on, y'all. Y'all had to experience it. Y'all getting ready to go to a party. Everybody dressed up, took time dressed up, got the outfit. Y'all got your makeup right, your hair right. I mean, this is reality. We're going to talk it. The dudes are straight, everything. You all pile up and go to this in this one car, two cars to go to this party. Nothing bad, nothing that's going to get shot up, but something where you're going to have fun. You old friends came from out of town. We all going to be there, man. People you went to college with or high school or something like that. And you hyped. You hugging everybody with whatever. You're on the way. Come on, let's go. Somebody sideswipes you, jacks up your ride. You can't even get out the passenger door, the one who's sitting over there. You got to climb over and get out. And they done left. And now you're sitting here making a report. The police got to come. Your friends are calling you. Where you at, man? Yo, we got hit, man. It could have been worse than that. It could have been when you've been T-boned or knocked off and maybe a truck jumped the divider and crushed you all. Not to think gory, but we must appreciate the time that we have and not waste the time that we have. I'm where I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing. I didn't ask to do this. I'm going to be a YouTuber and people are going to know me. I'm known already before that. In other worlds, more than you ever know. That's why this doesn't bedazzle me and people are watching me. I got 134 people. I got a lot of attention from when I was young. Sometimes it's like, you know, I hate when people try to say, nah, I'm natural with this. I didn't make no script. I have a feeling and a thought and things I have to share. Miss Scurv fell asleep because I talked her ears off just this much before we got on the show. She's like, okay, I'll come on for 5 minutes. The microphone's right there. And when I started, she was sitting right there. I thought she went to the bathroom. I went back there and well, she don't snore like that, but she was out. She woke up a little bit. I said, okay, another day. She works hard. She put about 10 hours a day up there. From when the sun came up, she was getting ready to leave. And after it got dark, then she came back. But when people see that yard behind the house and what it's going to look like when everything starts to blossom up, it'll start the end of this year, but next year, early next year, fruits and garden, I'm gonna have to walk out there naked. Like the Garden of Eden. Even. I sound like one of them dudes who never went to school out there, them country boys in Tuscaloosa. Man, the Garden of Eden. Man, Atlantic time is so-and-so, but a Pacific time or specific, or you know when people that say Pacific, it means specific. Oh, I know some people in Tuscaloosa, no hate. I'm just joking on y'all. I know people all over through the whole thing online. I was in contact with somebody from Alaska. I'm like, they got black people in Alaska? I guess we do. There's a whole lot of us out here, but you know, I said, y'all can't hide with all that ice. There's a little black spot on the sun today. Master Glam, how are you? Wow. Okay, let me see. I've been not ignoring it. I've been running. Let me just vibe on some of the comments. Right? Felicia Horn, I see you. Welcome home. Welcome, Tracy J. Okay. The spiritual side. Yes, definitely. You know, D nice. Okay. Yeah. We had communities. We sure did. Okay, here's a little question from Lil Bear. Okay, I got the camera right here, so I got to look around it. It's kind of blocking my screen, but I can see the chat room. LANCESCURV, how long did it take you to get over the culture shock after moving there, or is it still ongoing? I think I'm over it. And it's not a shock where, I'll leave this up so people can see it. It's not a shock where, oh God, I'm traumatized. Let me run home and go up under the table. But little things that are commonplace and what we would consider normal in our interaction with those back in America, because that's where I'm from. Right? You know that. I'm saying that for the people who may not know. Like you can't really tell this accent isn't from New York. But anyway, when the romantic honeymoon phase, I'm not going to say wore off, but when I knew that, man, I live here. When you first get here and you say you're going to live here, man, I live here. You don't feel it. But after a couple of months, and after, what has it been now? We left September 15th, 2020, and touched down September 16th, 2020. So 2021, 2022. So September will make 3 years. But me, I know that there will be differences anywhere I go. So I took to it like a duck to water. in one respect. But then I had to understand what it really is all about, because my analogy I always say is that there could be a hot stove over there. And somebody say, stay away from that stove, it's real hot. And I say, I went over there, I touched the stove, it's not hot. You touched it quick. But when you stay your hand on that stove and feel the heat, it's a whole different thing. I had a person I was speaking with, and they got angry at me. And they, oh, yes, I know Ghana well. I said, well, how long did you come for? Well, I came for 2 weeks, 18 years ago. I'm like, you don't know this place. You don't know the heat, right? And that was a long time ago. If a person who you shadow box with them, they're 8 years old, and they smack you like, ha, 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 little 8-year-old, you ain't hurting me. But let 10 years go by and they have 5 years of training, they're gonna knock you out. So it was a gradual thing on many respects, because I'm shrewd and I pick up quick. I learn and I absorb quick. I really observe things and see things quick, and I've learned so much. And I'm still very glad to be here. But there are things that many people may not understand at first and misconstrue as some type of slight. But that's just how the communication is, right? I'm like, just on the joke side, right? I was like, wait a second. Is this a country full of homos or something? Because you walking down the street and dudes are... I felt uncomfortable. I went into auto clench mode. Cling! I said, what? Why are these dudes blowing kisses at me? That's how they get your attention. If they're on one of the vans and pull up, if they got something they're selling. One time, dude, me and Miss SCURV walking down the street, and I'm about to punch him out. I'm like, what you blowing kisses at my woman for? No, I didn't say that. I already knew. And there's certain things that they will, I'm not going to say all, but many will do because they see you as a walking ATM, because you're from America. And we see how things are in America, and you have to have money. Of course, you have to have a little money to come over here. Of course, you got to have a little money to build your house, but I don't think it's so spectacular when you take the equity out of your house before and take it from here and put it to there. I have more problems with people from America. And the basic rumor was he got all of that YouTube money and he went and but he used you. Listen, I'm set up better than I was before. By no means am I rich. I position myself in a way where I can get better and get wealthy eventually by erasing the overhead and coming to a place where, for me, it's a vacation every day, because I value sunlight, even though I'm pale and I've been staying up late, and I'm waking up late after the sun's about ready to go down. But ultimately, when the project is done and I'm doing this same work, and in the background you see real mountains and real houses on the other mountain in the distance, it looks so nice, it looks fake, so relaxing, that even though people who live here, the economy is bad for them, it's not good. The government really doesn't look out for the people. But hey, does the government look out for the people in America? They do a better job of it, even though there are many complaints. But here, but you can do better on your own, where you don't need. But see, if you have income coming from the United States in the form of a pension check and something, what else, Social Security, if it's still there, I'm not dependent on it, because when you come, you're not supposed to wait and say, I'm just going to get this check. I'm just going to get this check. When mine comes and say, hey, Miss SCURV, just pay this, I don't want to see it. I'll earn from other things, right? It's a different mindset, because you're here, you have an income. There are a lot of people here who don't make much money at all. There are a lot of folks here who are not as skilled. And they'll take anything to get anything, just to make ends meet. You'd be surprised. This is not some impoverished place like they try to make it seem, with the fat belly baby who's hungry and faces sucked in and flies all over. They're so weak they can't even swat the flies. The flies all on their nose, like chilling out. Hey man, we on the nose now, man. So and so. Yeah, it's not like that. And you have some people who come here from other African countries to beg and put that imagery out there. I just haven't shown it. Within the next few days, I'm going to show it. Right in the busy market. You have other folks who they're mixed with other things, whatever, but they have these little black babies. And they leave the snot on their nose and the stuff in their eye. Mouth all white, stuff all in the corner of their mouth. Walking barefoot in the dirt. They do this for that image and they train them to go and, I mean, that's a damn shame. And you sitting off to the side all big and strong. I'm not saying them kids are hungry, but they bring them out there. They have them to put them out there to be a tearjerker. But Ghanaians who are here, they're like, we ain't going for that. But they see me. And don't let me have a tripod in a bag or a camera in my hand. Oh, he's American. He's going to have a lot of them. I have like 15 kids following behind me. And you see the father or the mother sitting over there in the cut. You look at them and they just look down the other way. There's a lot that goes on here. There are a lot of decent young ladies here, but don't think prostitution doesn't go on. There's a lot of that low key, and you won't notice it. It's not like they're walking around, everything jumping out. They have that part where the tourists really are, like really in Osu, East Legon, but Osu, you got straight street walkers on the corner, and you know what it is on site. They just out there. I mean, everything is hanging out. You're like, oh my God, this is like an American annex over here. And then you have those who walk. You'll never know. They're low key. They could be in areas anyway. There've been times, and it's far and few between, but too much. There've been times I've walked to like a store, maybe 2 miles down. They have something that I want. And you'll see the young ladies, and good evening, good evening, good evening, decent, God-fearing, white Jesus thing going on, for whatever it is. But you'll have that one. She's walking up, dressed normal. And she just walks up. I'm like, what the heck? And she looks at you, hi, how are you? And they stop. And I'm like, no, I don't think this is what it is. I'll stop. I mean, hi, how you doing? What's your name? And I'm like, where's this going? Is it me? Am I in the Twilight Zone? My name is Lance. How you doing, Lance? You want to spend some time? I'm like, no, that's not why I stopped. You're really doing this out here? Are you interested or not? No, I'm not interested, but like, look at that. Young underage girls sometimes try to flirt with you, and you're like, because there are a lot of older dudes who are out here banging them. Let's be real. We're talking, they're 12, 13 years old, man. You got old ass dudes my age, some older than me, and there's not too many older than me at this point. You know what I mean? And you see these young girls, it's not no little 12-year-old boys knocking these girls up. But there are no agencies here to go after people. Now, if you caught raping somebody and the cops caught you and you're doing, then you're going to get in trouble. Yeah, you're safe that way, but it's too vast. And money comes into play. There are a lot of compromised mothers out here that kind of like turn their head when their daughters go off with some strange tourist or some older man, just come home with some money. We need money. It's a different world when you see it that way. And many people see you different as an American. And they would, even friendly, you know how many people ask me, I don't even go to the mall no more. I haven't been in a while. Because right before Christmas, hello, my brother. These are people, shopkeepers, people who work in some of these shops and stuff. I've known a lot of people on a casual level. On site, I can't hide. Then a lot of them, after a while, they follow me on the shows and stuff. And they're watching now. They're going to tell me, oh, Lance, you told the truth. You shouldn't have said so much, but you tell the truth. Then they'll say to you, hey, my brother, they never did nothing to you. They cool with you. But they'll ask you, where's my gift? Gift? What you mean? You know what I mean? Like, we don't get down like that. I don't say that, but I'm like, gift? Yes, it is Christmas time and I'm waiting for my gift. Like I'm gonna run out like a high yellow, bald, middle-aged Santa Claus and hand out money that I don't have. Things get lean for me too until my check comes. I make a little something on YouTube, but nowhere near what I used to make for a little bit of time. But I put the work in. It can maybe pay 2 cell phone bills in America, but I have my little app thingy, so I don't need that. So you have to know how you live when you're out here, because even shopping, just like in the United States, you go to one store and certain things are high. You're like, oh no, I'm not gonna buy that. But you know the store where you can get that cheap. So you're thinking about 5 different shops or supermarkets. You're going to get something here. You're going to get something there. You balance out. You know how to live. We know how to live. Mrs. Scurv, by the way she cooks, saves us a whole lot of money. Because I'll say, you know what? Why do I want to go to this restaurant when I'm going to get big servings of something cooked just for me? She's my wife, but she's like my private chef. Like them big heavyweight boxers that go into a fight, they got a personal cook, a private chef. I'm a regular dude and I got that. So that saves a lot of money. Also, when you go to the restaurants out here, you ain't gonna get no big servings. I drink a lot. Listen, look at my cup. Look where it's starting out at the top. Look at that. This is my cup, y'all. I mix a little something in there, a little lemon juice, a little tea, whatever. That's what I filled up on. I had some callaloo, some greens we have growing up there. I had some spelt flour dumplings, and I had a few other things she put in the dish. I should have took a picture of it. I'm good. I can sit here for days and talk because I got the energy. It's quiet. The stress levels are next to nothing out here. But for the people who are living out here who are trying to make it and get to their job and look for opportunities to make money, because there's a lot of that. When you walk down the street and they know you're from America, it's like Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal, in the beginning, when he walked into the pub or he walked into the little juke joint, everybody was like, even the cat walking on the piano, ding, dong, dong, dong. And I was like, they watch this every move. That's what it is here. They'll see you and they just watch you. They ain't gonna bother you, but they might be friendly with you because they want to get something. It's just the way it is. I've been ripped off, like just outsmarted for a couple of extra bit or whatever. Say, man, that guy got me. Won't get me again. It's like a fight. Okay, boom. If I don't keep my right hand up, you're gonna hit me with the left hook. If I keep getting hit with that and I don't keep it up and learn my lesson, that's my fault. Because I should have known, right? It shouldn't be that way. Wow. Ask me some more questions. Let's get into the chat room. Anybody want to call? The calling number is on the bottom, and we can vibe that way. Just ring it. I got the phone hooked up right there. Just let me know. Yeah, Felicia Horn. And I saw that earlier. So I so miss those times. Brothers protected us like original queens. Nobody disrespect anyone outside of the neighborhood. Just classy in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Yes, Felicia Horn. That's what I'm all about. It's not about, well, she ain't give me none, so I ain't gonna do. No. Even if it's somebody else's woman or some woman who's not interested in you, you show her the righteous love. And she understands that you're showing her righteous love. Now, I'm not a woman, but I've talked to many, and I talk to many women. And they tell me now, you don't know what the men are coming with when they try to treat you nice. Because you're like, you trying to treat me nice for what? You gonna try to get somewhere with me that way? I'm not that kind of woman. And I mean, if you see somebody you like and you're in a relationship, you do what you do. Doesn't mean you're not to be, respected. But there's so many guys that come with so much foolishness. Oh, I'm gonna tell you one thing too. You come out here to Ghana as a single black woman, any age, you're gonna get swarmed. You're gonna get swarmed. They're gonna be coming at you, promising you love, and oh my baby, oh my so-and-so, I will love you forever, so-and-so. Yeah, right. What is it that you want? You want to get to America. And when you go out there, you're going to see all the women out there you want to leave you and whatever. Now, that's not everybody. Because I personally know several American women who are with Ghanaian men, and they're the best. I'm not saying they're the best over American men. I mean, like the term, somebody likes you, oh, Lance, you're the best. I ain't the best. You're just saying that you appreciate who I am, and I'm of a higher level than most. So let's not get it twisted. But you have a lot of Ghanaian men out here. They just want to use you for your money, get a place to live. Look, there's somebody I'm going to have come on. I have to get with her. She doesn't live too far. I'm not going to request that she shows her face. She's a woman over 60. She's quite attractive still. She keeps good care of herself. She's a property owner, and she's having something else built. And we keep in close contact because she's from the States and followed me from the States. But now that she's here a lot of time, and there are people who know me here from the States and y'all stay where you are. You know what I mean? I don't need you, right? There are too many people out here that I do know that are good and that are moving out here, right? And the story she tells me, she got with this guy, and he seemed to be legit as far as his money-making endeavors and stuff like that, but he had it in his mind where he was going to use her. He kept requesting things from her, like, dude, you need to try to do that yourself. Now, if you're all together and you want to build together and do certain things, she brought her vehicle over, which is a luxury vehicle. They saw us. I said, listen, I'm like, you brought that over here? They're going to really, really think. You know what I mean? And even the times we hung out, because, you know, I hung out with guys, I hung out with females, with Mrs. Scurv, no, Mrs. Scurv can come along, but see, she liked to sleep. So now if I'm up and I say, listen, I'm going to go hang out with so-and-so, this is where I am, whatever. Oh, don't worry about it. I got that trust with her. I might go somewhere and videotape, and it's better to have somebody with you, right? And at times when she said, Lance, here, take the keys, drive the car. I'm driving, like, I'm scared to drive this. I don't want to mess this thing up. But dudes have seen that and be like, you know, you need to buy me a car. What? I only known you for 2 weeks. And if I knew you long, I ain't doing that. You gotta be committed to me. All money has to be tied up together, where if you die, I'm getting all of it type thing. She's not cruel like that. I'm just phrasing it that way. But it's just amazing, the mindset of people. So you can't have a one size fits all with any black people, because the one you think may be ignorant and not conscious, that might be the one who is. And some who are got silky tongues and will say the sweetest things or say the most charismatic things. And you're like, whoa, this is the real deal. I can trust them. And they're gone with your money. They're gone with your resources. So you need to take time. Anything good is worth waiting for. But out here, it's a different style. It's like fighting somebody in a style that you're not used to. You got to take a few rounds to figure out their style before you can time them a certain way and lay them certain punches on them. You see what I mean? So you have to have a gift of discernment. You cannot be thirsty. And I don't mean this in a bad way, because you can come out here and be lonely. You can be lonely. You have all your friends back in America. Hey, girl, come on over. So we're going to go to the pizza joint tonight. Let's just come hang out and watch this movie. I got so-and-so over here. A lot of times it's not like that here, unless you get to establish yourself with other people who come from the same place that you do, right? And that's not always guaranteed, because they could be funny too. They want to know how you making it. A lot of them want to know where you getting your money from. A lot of them want to have more than you in the same bull crap that went on in America. So a lot of times you're like, I ain't hanging out with no Americans up front, because they bring in roaches from the apartment to the house, and they don't realize how they did it. They packed the roaches in the box, trying to get away from the apartment that had the roaches, and they moved to the house that had no roaches, and now they got roaches carrying around. What do I mean by that? The attitude. You cannot change by coming from one country to the next, putting on kente cloth, putting on an ankh, wearing some wrap or some high up. I got all that stuff in there. And I said, you know, I'm not going to portray that all the time. I got my little black t-shirts. That's why I love my black t-shirts. I'm not even trying to be whatever. I got stuff back there. I got clothes in there. I got rid of 95% of my wardrobe before I came, because I felt it would be too hot. Florida is hot, but God, dog, when it gets hot over here, it's hot. Look at me. I'm inside in this apartment. We're not going to install no AC because we out of here in a few months. Got a little fan right there. I'm cool. Windows are open. It's cool outside at night anyway, but in here with all the lights, you wouldn't believe the amount of lights. I got 5 lights on me to illuminate me. I have a 6th. I ain't gonna pull that on. I don't want to blow the power. All these power outages we got anyway. And if for some reason this goes off like that, that means a blink came on and shut everything off. Just give me a few more minutes to come back on. It happens. It's a reality. Where I'm building now, it's not going to happen as much. Plus, I'm going to get it down with some solar, have it wired for generator and the regular thing. So we ain't going to have that up there. But until you can walk, you must crawl, right? And sometimes you're helpless because somebody else has to take care of you, right? But here it's different. Look, you will have men here who will promise you the world. And for many of our sisters, it will feel good. Some are real about it. Many, too many, I'm just being honest with you, they're just looking to get in your pocketbook. They're looking for a sugar mama. I say that at the risk of insulting somebody. Like I said, this does not mean all Ghanaian men. I'm in Ghana, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to say all African men. It's in other countries too. because the economy is a certain way. And our sisters come here looking good, whether they're tall, short, skinny, fat, whatever, it don't matter. It's like, whoa, there's a certain glow they got. And a lot of them don't want to be with their own women here. Now, when I say own, I mean culture-wise, Ghanaian. A lot of them can be very disrespectful. I'm telling you real stuff. It doesn't mean everybody, but a lot of Ghanaian men are very disrespectful to their women here. And the way we are as American men, they're shocked that you do things for them. I was on the van one day, and when we lived at the other apartment, which wasn't too pleasing to live in, but you know, you got to crawl before you walk. There's a young lady sitting there next to me, and she was nodding out. I could tell she had a hard day at work. And I had just woke up. I was up all night doing stuff. So they look at me like, this guy's got to have money. Oh, before I tell the story, I can tell the search terms geographically. A friend of mine gave me this little gadget, this little website to tell, like, around here, what do people Google for, right? And I put my name in there. And do you know what comes up that people are Googling? There's people that live real close. I ain't saying who, but they live real close and in the area. Does LANCESCURV work? And how did they know to say LANCESCURV? I had that as my name on my internet module. I took all the numbers off and put LANCESCURV.com just to promote the site locally. Does LANCESCURV work? Because they see me inside of the time. And sometimes they don't see me at all. People, man, did you go back to America? I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. I was like, in the last 2 weeks, I came outside twice. You know what I mean? I had enough food. I stayed in here. When Mr. SCURV was in America, that's the way I did it. I go up on the roof or go on the back porch, whatever have you, get some sun or whatever have you. But if I don't have to, I don't. If anything, I go out at night, late at night. You know, that's just the way I am. But there's a lot of little things culturally. Here's the other thing that I heard about, and I can kind of say is true from what I heard from people who got involved. I'm not trying to make any Ghanaian look bad, but it's an unwritten rule that when you get with a Ghanaian really serious or heading in that direction, I'm gonna say it this way, I'm gonna use a little sprinkled profanity, your ass gonna have to take care of the whole family. That's what's expected. That's what's expected. There's a dude I know, I'm gonna put his name out there, but he got involved with a Ghanaian woman. And he was so caught up in the body. He was caught up. I do not look at any other woman or any other man's woman like that. I can see, but I ain't looking like that. When it's not mine, it's a physique. When it's mine, I can be, ooh, yeah, look at that. Ooh, come here, whatever. But he told me, he's like, Lance, I know you're going to see it, but you won't believe the shape she has. And there are a lot of these Ghanaian women out here that if you can't control yourself, you lost. You lost. For the ones who come from out the village, we're talking hundreds of miles out, not the biggest cities, because you got KFC here, you got McDonald's here, you got all kind of fried up whatever here. Some will do that. But when they have their foundation and growing up in nature, working out on the fields and in the sun, and their snack might be a mango, their snack might be a watermelon. Some of them never tasted fast food. And some who have come here to Accra and tasted the fast food, they got sick. See, this is comparable to America in many ways. You have the hick town, small town type people, and they go to the big cities and they're looking up and they can't believe what they see. See, it's the same thing. But out in the villages, way out, there's not much money. But what do you need it for? If you own the land, you own your home, you know, it may not be as sophisticated. It may not be a mud hut. I have seen mud huts that were very solid and more solid than these old wooden shacks called homes in America, made out of wood, burn up quick. I mean, I'm like, I ain't gonna live in no mud hut, but if I had to, and this is way out, and not everybody does that. But you will see that they live better and healthier. And the men, and I ain't looking at no man because I ain't no homo, but I used to be in the bodybuilding. I'm like, yo, this dude, does he lift weights? Every striation and every well-developed way, you're in the sun all day, you're running when you're a kid, playing, having fun, you're eating clean, pure food. Even those who eat meat, the meat ain't got nothing in it. It was raised on the farm. And they take time and cook and smoke that little bit, but the most of it is not meat, like all I'm going to eat is meat and 2 bites of vegetables. No. And they exercise and they're moving all the time. You see old dudes with gray beards, with bodies that you would love to have. He's 72 years old and you 25, and you would love to have his body. I don't want no 72 years on an odometer. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that how it is. And so they may feel like I can have a better life. They get intoxicated. Let me come down to Accra. Let me go to Kumasi. Let me go to different parts. You know, Accra is the biggest city, capital city, and Kumasi is the second biggest, right? But Accra, I know where to get my New York fix. Even though it's not New York, I know little places to go where it feels that way. And so a lot of these young ladies will come down into the city, and because of how they live, it's obscene. I'm not saying they're obscene. I'm just saying the physical beauty and presence of them. Not knocking my American sisters, because you're beautiful too in a different way, but that natural living from birth, that's like that new car stuff. You know, you go into a dealership and sit in a new car. Oh man, this is, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. And many, let's just go deep and just flow for a little while. I saw an article and I saved it, but I have so much saved stuff. I'm going to have to go down all the different ones, scroll down and catch it. There was a Ghanaian man who moved to America and moved back to Ghana, and he lived in Accra, or he's living in Accra. And he was saying how hard it is to find true love in Accra. Because many of our sisters are not just looking for a man to help secure them. That's okay, because I know our sisters can do it on their own. I'm not one of those guys who say you can't or something's wrong with that. If that's that's in you and you have a career, whatever have you, as long as you live in balance, right? That's cool with me. But a woman still wants to be able to know that her man can take care of things and hold things down if she's not doing it. But here, from what I hear of a lot of decent Ghanaian men who are not looking for the sugar mama, they say that their own women here, Ghanaian sisters, man, they could be rough because they're seeing the stuff on the phone too. They want the American lifestyle here too. And so many people are moving in from other places, and there is a lot of money here. It's just lopsided. You go to certain parts of town, you're like, man, this is really rough here. And then you go to other parts and you say, listen, go to my Instagram if you can, right now, where we went yesterday to meet with our dear friend. I'm gonna put a name out there. Sister Betty, if you're watching, we love you. Much more to come. But we wanted to meet her up there yesterday. And I did not know that resort was there like that. I have got to go within a week and arrange me to walk around that place with a camera, and your mind will be blown. And the main road to that place is not a bad area. It's a nice looking area, but it's where regular folks live and everything is not super whatever. It's nice. There's a pizza joint on that main street that I have to go to also, man. It's really looking nice. And it has the same name as a resort, even though it's the same name. It's not like if you go to a resort, you go there and eat all the pizza you want, because that's out in the street. So when we were walking to where the sign was, and we looked down and saw the cobblestones on a narrow road off of a common street, every step we took got more and more luxurious. And we got to the guard. He was down maybe like 150 feet. He was sitting there. He was polite. You know, I didn't know it was going to be like that. I had regular shorts and shirt on. I always rock that. If I know I'm going to come home early because the mosquitoes come and they start biting me up. So Mrs. SCURV was dressed as always. She's the model of the two, right? So he said, just go on back. and the second left. And as we went down more, this little cobblestone road, the nice walls, it opened up into a whole new world. I looked off afar and saw a huge pool. I looked at the building and the tile and the gold. It wasn't real gold, but gold stairwells and the rails and the sign and the guys at the door, the women behind the counter. Good evening, sir. How are you? I was like, what the heck? People walk around with stuff on their head selling fruit. When I come down here, and I'm not materialistic, but I looked at the cars in the parking lot. It was no shame to have a Honda. It was no shame to have a Toyota. But that's not what I saw there. And again, not to be materialistic, but I would like to show that also in conjunction with being around the common, sometimes downtrodden area. I want to show the whole thing. And I'm very interested in that. And I was always a lover of that show years ago before he passed, Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown. I want to do something similar in my own way. I mean, I don't have a big crew around me in this huge budget, but I want to go around and talk to people who own establishments, show you the areas. And other people do it, but they don't do it like, face it, they ain't gonna do it like I do it. I'm gonna walk around the area for 2 hours before you even get to the place. And we're gonna talk. I want you to feel like, oh, we're gonna hang out. See? So I could not believe the sculptures over there, the bar inside, downstairs. They had the restaurant with the buffet and restaurant where you can order stuff, areas where you can sit outside. They had the rooms. And for the weekend or just like a night during the week, I'm going to get the prices. Anybody coming here, you have to go there. You have to go there. I'm saying it. And it's like right up when we go to the house, it's like so quick. As soon as we get over the mountain, when we started that walk, it was a few feet behind us. I'm probably one of the days, I think I'm going to go up there. I'm not going to promise and say tomorrow, because if I go tomorrow, it doesn't mean I'm going to get an interview. I want to walk through the whole place. And as a token of my sincerity, I'm going to pay for a night for me and Mrs. SCURV to go up there, but I'll go up there a lot earlier. So I'm going to have a clothes packed just for overnight. And we're just down the road. Doesn't mean we have to bring a lot. Hell, I might wear something and wear it the next day to come on back home. I'll do the funky like that for a little bit. Not really. I'm a very clean person. But what was it? 350 CDs, which ends up being the equivalent of $35 overnight. Then they have higher prices with suites and different things. That was nothing. And for the higher price, which is probably the equivalent of maybe 50, 60 bucks, you get food, the buffet all night. The place is luxurious. There's always somebody standing there ready to help you, open the door for you. Only thing they don't do for you is when you sit in the toilet, they won't wipe for you. That's something, unfortunately, you're going to have to do for yourself. But we were going to go there for a little bit, hang a little bit, but we ended up staying till it was dark. Mosquitoes were hitting me, and I was like, damn, mosquitoes. They came out. Beautiful place. And the stereotype of what they put out here of that, I seek to smash. But the thing is that now I'll show more. A well-rounded thing. There's certain things they don't want to show. And culturally, they don't like the camera on them. Out in the street, they be walking like, man, you're walking like you in America and got a case or something. Or somebody looking for you, right? But no, they don't like that. And a lot of people think they think you have to pay them. Well, if you want me on your camera, you have to pay me. It's like, listen, the camera was aimed over there. You were walking behind me. You put your ass in front of my camera. I'm going to pay you nothing. For what? I just want to give you, there's a lot of good content out here, but some people, they do little 10-minute videos, little 5-minute videos. I don't like that. I want you to feel it. No quickies with me. I'm too old. Like that dude on Car Wash. If I can't have all of it, I don't want any of it. I want to make you feel like you know every nook and cranny. So that place there, I have to go there. Shoot, I have to go there before the week is over for me. But if I'm free enough tomorrow and wake up early enough, because I know I'm going to be up tonight, and I'm going to set up the show for tomorrow. Which you can see, I set up the little banner and everything. This banner you'll see for a while. I may make other ones, but this will be it. The call-in number and everything. So You know, listen, I'm going to wrap it down for a second or for the night. We do have Positively Angela on, and let me see here what this is here. Yeah, we do have Positively Angela on at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I can't go but for so long. Let me see what time it is now for me. 12:07. Actually, I only have 53 more minutes before she comes on, so I'll hang right up until the time if you want me to. If you want to call in, I'm gonna look at a few more statements here in the chat room. Turn this fan around. Oh man, I'm missing a whole lot of comments. Okay, which look, y'all. Look, y'all. This is what confuses me. I got 3 computers in front of me. I'm grabbing the wrong mouses and stuff. Okay, let's see. Wow. Y'all were talking. I didn't even know. Okay. I was waiting for somebody to say that. Oh, I was waiting for somebody to say that. And I answered you before. Why is it racist? The thumbnail is racist as F-U-C-K. Why would you use gorillas and black people in the same sentence? That's wild. But why would you be insulted when so many of us act like damn monkeys? You don't get insulted when you see the pants sagging down. You don't do that, do you? You don't mind it when you see some nice titties and ass on the corner of a sister selling herself, her body and her soul, do you? Say, damn, that girl got a nice ass. I like to smash her. Now, I don't know you to even say that to you. I'm talking about everything. Look, I did it on purpose to be insulting. But the bigger picture, and let's put this out for people who don't understand, because I do things not for clickbait, but to make you think. Boom. Hear no evil, speak no evil, and see no evil. You'll get mad at a photo like that, but you won't get mad at the so-called black leaders who don't want to hear it, who don't want to speak it, who don't want to see it. And they live in their separate world. I knew there was going to be somebody who comes along this way, and that's why I answered it as the show started. You can't make somebody else make us think that because they want to say that about us, that's racist, and I use that, and I'm not defending the oppressor. I'm gonna always be up in their ass, but we allow so much to happen around us in our own communities, and we won't complain about that, but we'll say, oh, this is racist, and we'll say it to the white folks, this is racist, and this is racist, but then you'll hear some dude beating his wife's ass, and you'll say to yourself, this is not my business. No, if you see a sister, I don't care if they married, I don't care that they've been going with each other for a long time. You stop that man with the least force as possible. You ain't gonna go try to stomp him because now he's gonna come back at you because he's mad that you jumping in on this woman like that to stop him from doing something that's wrong. But we allow that. We see the young kids cussing and fighting each other, and well, that's not my child. Yeah, the mama might be a baby mama type and be a little ignorant and hood rat like, oh, don't put your hand on my child, so and so. But you know what? You need to do the right thing. You see what happens on Instagram. You see what happens on Facebook. It's damn near porn. But do we complain about that? We don't do it. But for something that is, to me, very realistic. I said nothing about any correlation of monkeys and black people, but some black people act like, I'm going to say it in some bad language, they act like goddamn monkeys. You tell them something over and over again, and they don't hear it. Not everybody, but too many of us. And there are many who are just like the caption in the middle. Okay, here you go. We put the caption back up again. We put this thing back up again. Okay, waking up. Okay, boom. I'm messing up over here. Is it game over for black people? So what if I put horses in the same thing? It doesn't matter. I'm not defending white folks that want to call us monkeys, because if you look at the lips on these things, black people don't look like that. Black people don't look like that. When you take all the hair off a monkey, you're seeing a white man and a white woman. So if you accept that from them, they can call you that all they want. or anybody can call you anything. It's if you buy into it and believe it. That's the problem. That's the problem. There are people who don't really know me on jobs that I've been quiet. They still want to call me a thug. Maybe the certain hand motions, or they know that they can't really victimize me. They know they can't get away with certain things with me. I'm respectable, and I will treat you with the utmost respect if you treat it for me. But they know this guy got a short fuse that I try to make longer. I'm no tough guy. I can get my ass whipped too, but they just know it. So they want to tack on things on me. I can hear this all you want. I know different. There are people who don't even know much about it. They have all these opinions. When I used to drive the bus, when I was working in corrections, and they don't know. I'm creative. I have a big imagination. I know how to do my thing. You know the different things that I do. There's a brilliance there. I'm not afraid to say it. I want to be more brilliant. The Creator put a whole lot in me. I'm not, well, you know, no. I think that's worse than a picture showing many of our Black leaders. Really, it was about the leaders. And I want to get in on that too with that picture. And a lot of us, these Black leaders that we vote in, politicians who are really little do-boys for the white system, you're not getting mad at the secret handshake boys and girls who join up with these groups as a buffer to do dirt to us as Black people while giving us turkeys every Thanksgiving. And they see everything crumbling and they make sure that everything goes back to the white master. What about those? Those are just as much hear no evil, speak no evil, and see no evil. They take their little oaths, their little badges on their car. That's more insulting to me than a picture showing us what we have become and will become if we keep ourselves ignorant and not unified. But how can we be unified when our brains have been snatched out and a colonized mind put in? And that's what you have a lot of out here in Accra, Ghana. You have people that don't want to make waves. Don't want to make waves. They're not told that this place is bad. It's insinuated by them being taught that America's better. And they're not taught to ask questions and challenge what's there. How are you going to grow? How are we going to advance in science if we don't see something or have a theory that seems to be right, but we challenge it and we embellish it and make it better and it's more on point? I don't believe in the toxic medicines, but there are things that, like if your arm gets cut off and you need to coagulate that blood and give me a shot, please. Not what they're trying to give us as far as a shot. I ain't doing that. But how are we going to get better unless we challenge? Challenge that. Be angry at that. Say that's racist. Because there's Black teachers out here teaching the Black children, but the curriculum of what those teachers have to follow come from somewhere else. How come the teachers don't challenge that? How come the teachers don't teach the Black children here what happened to us when you go up by Cape Coast or you go over here by the slave dungeon? I call it dungeon. It's not a castle because it wasn't a castle for us. Only the ones who were upstairs picking Black women after they were captured, looking at, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. You all know the Tupac video, round and round, round I go, and he had all the women. I get around. They were doing that with our sisters back then, except they didn't have the music. Aren't you mad at that? Aren't you mad that they don't teach the real history over here? That when I went up to Cape Coast and walked amongst the town, and I'm going to have to do these things again and show you that there are things over here that you need to be angry about. An illustration, if you know you're that picture don't insult me. I've had white people under their breath, hey, he's a thug, he's this, and they see how brilliant and smart I am, yet I'm not trained by their schools. Oh, you're a pretty smart guy for, oh yeah, in your mind, you want to say nigger. And I can run circles around you with brilliance. And there are things that I don't know. But I'm going to give up better conversation than this little cracker can because I've experienced so much. And the amazing thing, I'm a high school dude. I'm a high school dude. But I was smart long before that because of the home that I was raised in and the parents and community that I have. I'm a representation of that long gone thing. And we have all this technology now and all this ways, whatever, and we just is whatever now. Doesn't that piss you off? Forget a picture. The only way you be insulted is if you think you a damn monkey, or you're going to let them tell you one. You can say that about me all the time, but I'm one handsome monkey for 60 years old. I'm one smart monkey for 60 years old. And I'm not calling myself no monkey. I'm sarcastic with the humor. We got to draw the lines and stop, it's racist and how could you? And so are we that? We are not that. I'm bold in my expressions. I'll make you think. I'll make you get mad. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. We should dictate how we see ourselves. So tell me, Planet of the Apes, that was supposed to represent us in that movie. Did you get mad at that? Or did you go and pay your money and sit there and see it and not see what they were trying to say, that they fear us? We're not monkeys, but they put it in there like that. So they're telling us how much they fear us, and we don't feel great, not because they have a movie with monkeys trying to represent us. That's coming out of their mind, but they're telling us. They know they are inferior. They made us feel that we are. We have superior genes and superior everything, and they relish the fact when they can see us shaking our ass, and that's all we are. That's all we think we have to offer as a woman, or a long dick. That's all we think we have to offer as a man, and we jam that dick up inside the white woman. That's our way of getting into the white world. Oh, she's blowing me. Oh, I'm an honorary white man now. That's why when you get this money as a football player, baseball player, anybody, and they sick that white woman on you, they seek the big titty-ish, biggest, roundest booty, whatever, and swallow a golf ball through a water hose. They'll throw 2 or 3 of you. You didn't even sign the contract yet. And I better sign with this one. And you end up marrying one. And it's always a messy divorce. And you got to give back millions and millions, the majority of your money. And she got her money. Now she's going to go back to the white community and put all that money back there, you dumb black fool. And you're going to get mad at a picture. That's a monkey. That's the manifestation of a monkey. When you're not hip to the game to know what's being played on you time and time again, and you see it in front of you, and you fall victim to it. Much white women back in the States always trying to come around me. Oh, I don't want, you ain't got enough lip for me. Even if they did, it ain't gonna happen. That was a joke, y'all. It was never a consideration. They was on me. Let me tell you something about black militant speaking black men. It turns white women on. I'm telling you from experience. They send me their little emails, their little pictures that I see more of them than the gynecologist sees. Because see, when you up in your rallies, speaking to black people about unifying and we need to get away from this devil and this pink parasite and so, whatever, they're way in the back. Talk that talk, nigga, because you're going to end up in my bed later on. And you laying back. You know what this means. And you laying back. Oh, baby, you're the best. I love you. And you'll even get more explicit. I love that white PUSSY. It's the best. But then you go up and you speak, and she knows the lie you live in. There are many who were with me here on this show that ain't around, found out they was with the pink parasites up until the day. You fraud. Multifaceted frauds. And I will say there are a lot of black so-called leaders. Let me not forget. Let me show the picture. You ain't got to see me. Y'all know what I look like. Let's show the picture again. There are so many black leaders that are in front of you acting like monkeys who don't want to hear and don't want to speak and don't want to see because they're compromised. And you think they're great because they up next to massa. Anybody who wants to be up next to massa and can't do for you is a slave. And you looking at this illusion, but you so caught up in the car that they're driving. You so caught up in the white wife that they have, and see, I'm not about no light skin, dark skin thing in the black race. I am not for that. But we know that there's some men that if they cannot get the white woman, you better have a light woman or a damn near white woman who is black. That's the fact of the matter. And people are afraid to say the damn thing. And you're an imitation white man because you done sold out your people. But they will never call you that monkey because they're dumb, because they want to be a replacement monkey and live like you. I've been talking like this all my life. I know that there are repercussions for speaking this way. Ask anybody who's known me from way, way back. There was a pose that I used to do in bodybuilding when I was 18, 19 years old. All the brothers from Brooklyn, when we were at the shows, hit the pose, brother, hit the pose. And I was posing the Planet Rock. And it was going, whatever, perfectly choreographed. And I would always keep a serious face. And I hit this pose. And I came up. And I had my fist out. Just like this. But you can't see it because it's so, and I was looking up the side and had everything perfectly flexed. Man, they didn't like that. Judges asked me later on, what was the significance of that particular pose? I've never seen it before. I said, it came from my black soul. You couldn't do anything like that. You wouldn't feel it. I was always that way. Even when I was a little wayward, throwing them little orgies and having the little girls come over having fun, I knew myself that way. I had to get a grip on a libido, but I always spoke this way and knew myself. And I got worse and worse, which is better and better, right? But worse to them. So I was never a supervisor on their jobs. I was always the one who they're trying to get me caught up in something because of my ideologies. Even when I drove on the bus and, worked in corrections and they found my website and found a way to fire me. Oh, you gave the inmate too much food. Oh, please. We're going to throw this stuff out anyway. And all y'all do it. What about the ones that's bringing in cocaine? What about the female officers that's sucking dick in the beanhole at night for money to get paid outside by the other drug boys? See, they didn't like me. That's the way I am. I can't be no other way. I can't die knowing that I was a coon. Pointing out to, well, that's racist and that's racist. Ignorance is the ultimate form of racism against us because we allow things to happen. And we keep ourselves in a place of ignorance. And a lot of us don't even have the balls to get up and fight. Yeah, we know about this kind of fight. And this kind of thing, I really don't want to do as much. I can do it. I got a few more years left where I got a couple rounds in me. But I'm getting brittle like any other older man. I'd rather talk things out. But you better be prepared in this level to fight on any level. And you got to make the oppressor feel that and know that from your very presence. And most of the people who complain about that picture don't know what I meant by putting it up. And when I say that so many of us are dumb and stupid, I'm not putting the black race down. I'm putting down niggers. And like Chris Rock said, you got niggers and you got black people. I'm not going to cater to niggers. Any nigga that says, oh, it's racist, you got no right to say anything is racist if you're walking around exploiting your woman, putting her on a corner to make money for you, or selling crack to families and crack mothers so crack babies can come to be. That's more threatening to me than some crack, oh, nigga, oh, you monkey. That's what they do. That's what they do. Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's 12:25. I'm in a zone. I look around, it's 3 o'clock. But that's what they do. We know what they do. You want to go and eat in their restaurant and not realize that maybe over the years that you ate in the white restaurants that you had half a gallon of their saliva down in your stomach? You're going to be shocked at that when they can kill us? I don't deal with them. And I don't deal with a lot of us either. Because a lot of us have their mind. You talk about racist, that's racist on you, keeping them in power with the ignorant thinking. If you can't see beyond, if you can't look beyond something that may appear to be a certain way, and why was it done? What are our so-called black politicians doing? I don't believe in the political system anyway. I am my own leader. If my grass has to be cut, I can't call Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden, you're the president. My grass is getting high. Joe Biden, you're the president. I'm feeling hungry. My brain is connected to my stomach, so it's up to me to put food in my stomach so my brain works right, so I can do what I have to do for the day. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, what's the other one name in Florida? whatever, the one that wants to take away the black curriculum in schools. You go, I'm smelling sugar honey iced tea. I'm smelling doodle all the time. You didn't wipe my ass for me. No, that's for you to do. That's the problem with us. We're waiting for somebody to do something, and the church makes us that way. I'm going to wait for Jesus to come back. Your ass going to be waiting for a long time. Your mama waited for him. Your grandmother waited for him. Your great going all the way back until Jesus, the white Jesus was given to you. He ain't never come. He ain't going to show up. Plus the picture. What's the guy's name? Put it in the chat room for me. Michelangelo's lover or something like that. The real name. He's somewhere sucking spirit dick, because that's what he was, a homo. That they having you bow down to a Caucasian that looks so soft and effeminate. The real, we're not going to split hairs on whether he existed or dirt, but from what I'm hearing, Jesus wasn't no super handsome dude, but he was muscular as hell, and he was a warrior. He was a carpenter. His body had to be right. He wasn't some little milquetoast. Peace and love. No, Jesus can F stuff up. A warrior. That's the one I want to roll with. If I got to roll with anyone, that's the one I want to roll with. He's cool with me. Now, if that Jesus exists and comes back, he can come to the LANCESCURV show and sit down and talk with me and talk some real stuff. Not some ideological, something that's a chain around our neck. You should be more insulted at the picture of the white Jesus that they have on every other corner. All the vans, they put it up. And what's the name of the beauty salon that I saw? Her hair is her glory, or something like that. Scriptures and all this stuff. And there's so much corruption here. But the white Jesus, you can't touch him. I'm going to tell you what I did one time. There's a mall a few blocks away from here that I go to all the time. I know a lot of people that are there. Boy, it's getting all funny. Let me check the time. We're going to do this again tomorrow night. I don't know what the title is going to be. We're going to do this tomorrow night. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock for me. 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Even if there's times when I'm busy and I don't make the link to right before, you rest assured it's going to be a show. If there's not, I'm going to go into the community section of YouTube and say, listen, y'all, I got to push the show back an hour or two, or I can't do it today. But that ain't happening this week. If I only do one show a day, one really good quality show a day, I'm going to make sure it's this one. We're going to put the energy into it. It's the only way to go. Rebuild it up. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. The $6 million man. I said 5. Boy, the economy must be bad. I'm throwing off $1 million off the bad boy. You see what I mean? So you should be more insulted about these things that are pulled over our eyes. And no, be mad at that thing that you have half your family worshiping. That's fake. Be worshiping the image of a white faggot. But like I said, I went up to this mall here, Mrs. SCURV, and some other people that knew her offline, and we finally met off the show. And a lot of people, Mrs. SCURV is cool with a lot of people. Oh, hook me up. Mrs. SCURV called me. Here's my number, whatever. So the quality people, though, right? Because a lot of shams out here, a lot of weirdos out here. So we met. We're sitting around, and she started talking some revolutionary talk. So I was like, listen, I'm whipping up the camera. I put it on the table right in front of her. All of a sudden, this little Deputy Droop-Along character came up from downstairs and stood over me. And I'm like, I know this little piece of guy is not trying to intimidate me. I'm not the toughest in the whole world, but I ain't letting no 80-pound man whip me. No way. I don't care how much older I get. It ain't going to happen. So he walked away. And he came back with 6 people. And they're all standing over me. So I ain't paying no mind. And he knocked on the table. Boom, 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 boom. I said, come in. You know I'm a comedian. Oh, you cannot videotape here. Meanwhile, there was a function getting ready to happen, and there were about 15 cameras and testing the cameras. How did they know that I wasn't part of that? Like, this was a knucklehead day. And so they told me that, whatever. I said, listen, number one, you don't know if I'm here because the president has me here to videotape something. You don't know if I'm here for what reason, but you assume who I am. You don't know what I do. And I said, the rude way that you came up on me like you really can do something. And I ain't gonna lie, I got angry. I said, you all standing up, all spread out, and they didn't have no muscle at all. Whether they did or not, it's not going to put no fear in my heart. I said, what you coming over here for like that? First, you think you're intimidating somebody? You're not intimidating me. So I stood up. I said, what's all that for? I said, don't portray something that you're not about. Because I'm really not about that. I'm too old for that. But if you really want to go there, what you going to do if I don't put the camera down? Because it's going to take the police about 3 hours to come over here. What you going to do? You going to throw me out? I didn't mean to get ignorant, but it was getting like, oh, I'm supposed to be scared. I'm supposed to be subservient and whatever. No, you come that way, you show me what you're going to do. And they didn't know what to say. And this is what I said, and I'm not going to hold it back, whether they knock this video off. I said, listen, if I was a white man sitting here, you wouldn't do that because you honor white flesh so much, right? I said, if the white Jesus showed up and had 10 cameras in his hand, you wouldn't say anything to him. You know what I said? Not to insult anybody or whatever, but I was so heated. I said, you know what you'd probably do? You'd probably get down on your knees and suck his dick. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. Yeah. I said, yeah, I said it. And you swallow every drop. They scattered. Oh, he is going to hell. He is going to hell. No, you are in hell. You are trapped in this matrix. And you cool with it. Like the dude in the Matrix who he knew the deal, but he went back to the restaurant to go get some steak. Oh, this piece of steak is so good. And that's an illusion. There's a lot of things I could be doing out here in Ghana, and y'all won't even know about it. I'm up here trying to portray myself as being that guy. I am me. Perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect, whichever way it goes. I lay it out and I tell it like it is. And sometimes I have to learn. Sometimes there's things on videos I said 8, 9, 10 years ago that knowing what I know now, I wouldn't say it that way. But I leave them up. And that's why so many people come at me. Well, back in 2011, Lance, play at the 2 hour and 38-minute mark. That thing you said about so-and-so. I said, and so what? Yeah, I said it. Well, that means there's a contradiction. No, that means there's growth. And I don't have to try to convince anybody of anything. I couldn't say no to a woman. No? Nah, man. I'm proud of my growth. I'm proud of my growth. If you caught me back anything up until like the early 90s, and you around me and whatever, it's on and popping. I don't care. A lot of time spent in that world, in that lifestyle. But I always knew I had something different in me, and I'm glad that I'm trying to go a better way. But with the experiences that I've had in this life, trust me, I've been through a lot, and I've seen a lot, and I've done a lot. And because I'm granted and gifted with life in this time, in this late age, which people say, no, you're not old. No, I know I'm not old. I've got a lot of juice in this fruit left over. But with what's going on in the world right now, how easy it is for us to lose our lives. And for me to go through all I went through in America and come out here and live to tell and share today, I wish my parents were alive to see this. They knew I wasn't going to go down certain routes. But my mother always told me when I was younger, Lance, your Achilles heel. And mothers know their children. It's going to be women. You got to watch that aspect of your life. I'm like, sure, no problem. Both of you already? And she knew. She didn't chastise me, but she guided me. There's a lot of things I learned about myself and still did things, still relapsed. You know what I mean? That's how it is. You're taking them baby steps, you're going to trip and fall. And you're going to fall harder. And like they say, when you fall and go back, you bring 7 more demons, 7 times the amount of demons. So 7 times 7 is 49, 49 times, what? You couldn't even see me. I had so many demons on me, but I had so much influence that certain things were easy for me. Yo, man, you just met her in the supermarket, man. You saw what she was doing to you in the front seat of your car. I'm like, yeah, I know. I ain't bragging about that stuff. I'm just saying how far gone we can go into things. And again, one of the reasons why I didn't think it was wrong for me to have so many girlfriends, and they all knew, right? It's because in my mind, I'm not on drugs like my older brother. And that was bad. I didn't realize that the other thing could be just as bad and kill you faster. I just thank the Creator for being alive and to be kept this way. I talk the way I talk because I've been down certain roads. Don't mean I'm still in things. You know, a drug dealer could never forget the fact that he sold drugs. He's not in that no more, but his discernment for those who are looking to come around and cop, that old drug dealer might be in a church and living clean. And he can see those who are there who are still hitting that guy and doing the magic handshake on the corner. They switch to dollars and he's got his thing and he puts in his pocket later on. They start talking all fast. I remember that was in high school, man. I was in a track team and I was running so fast, man. But then, you know, later on I fell and broke my leg and I started taking painkillers, man. I started getting on drugs, man. I got hooked on the painkillers and I was homeless and whatnot. I was homeless and shit, right? So I started selling my ass for money and whatnot. And I caught herpes, man. I thought that was the end and I was in jail and whatnot. Just like, whoa. I've had a couple guys that have helped me who are like master carpenters to help me with certain things that I couldn't do in my house. And I know what they were doing. So I had to pay them a little bit of time. You pay them all, they're gone. They're zonked out. You pay them a little bit of time and they go out in the back. I'll be back, man. I got to go get a little something. I'll be back. They come back and they different. They start talking some space age stuff, especially when they got some smarts. You know what I mean? There's this one guy who used to do work for me named John. Master carpenter, was in the Vietnam War. And he would tell the war stories. He's like, yeah, man. He'd get high and tell the war stories. Yeah, you know, we were out in Vietnam, right? And we were walking, right? And the ground started shaking, man. And something came out the ground, man. They had robots, man. Robots, real robots, man. They were standing still and they were shooting at things, man. We ran. I'm like, what? Talk about. He swore by that story. He said, man, they got things from way back then that you haven't seen to this day, whatever. I believe that now. He wasn't joking, but, you know, see somebody smoking crack and they come back and they tell you all this stuff. You're like, oh, let me stay in the window. I don't want to catch a contact on that. I don't even want crack fumes coming near me. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here like, yeah, tell me the story, man. With the fan on the window. No, you ain't gonna get me with that. I'm already jacked up. I'm already with a crazy imagination. I don't need none of that. For real. I might, if I was on that stuff, I might draw a picture so detailed. You look at the picture and it starts climbing up out the paper. Ah, what did he draw? My imagination is already wild. I don't need any substances. You know. Yes, we're going there. I'm going to wrap this down now. It's 12:39. I'm having such a good time. It's like I don't want to go. A lot of times I say, do a little hour and a half, hour, 15 minutes. And then boom, here we go. We're going to switch over to her. But before, does anybody want to call in? Anybody want the link to show their face or whatever? I'll give you that chance every time. If not, we'll talk for 2 or 3 more minutes. I'll wrap down. But if you want to talk in these few minutes that we have, add on to the show, you can always do that. And I'm open for suggestions of topics. Do we stay more beaten up on the church? We talk about relationships or, you know, I'm not always going to talk about black people because it's always going to end up being the same show. No matter what the title is, I'm going to be getting on them. So I'm glad that most of you are clear with the illustration with the monkeys. There's going to be somebody that comes into the comment section that never watched the show, but they're going to talk about the monkeys. I'm going to get them. I need y'all to back me up. And if I don't see it first, I need y'all to get them because I talked about it in the beginning and I talked about it at the end. Miko, we got to do something soon. And we got to get Kimberly on also. Y'all are magic, you know. And don't y'all be having no conversations without calling me up and let me record it because it's gold. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're right, Diana. There are different negative spirits that capture our people and hold us there. And we don't fight hard enough because a lot of us love the decadence. We think that clean living is not as sweet, you know, because when you have them demons on you and those negative spirits on you, you could feel it. And it makes you run back to the very thing you know that you should get away from. Because if you douse yourself in it heavier, there's a reward from a satanic reward of you being free. It's sick. You go more into it to feel a relief, but then when you're done with it, the depression sets in, and then you run to it more to get away from it. You got to run the opposite way, no matter what it is that has you held. But that's so right. Yes. Okay, boom. Let me see. We go up and maybe there's something that I missed. That guy over there is not used to that type of rebuttal. And I didn't have it written down like, well, this is my official rebuttal for the monkey picture. I just spit it out. How some people can look at a picture and not be mad at the conditions. And if you can call, look, man, Lance is a faggot. You can say it all you want. You'll never see a dick in my mouth. It doesn't even mess with me. What can you call me to make? Because I know what I am. But people will always try to frame certain things a certain way to get a rise out of you. You ain't getting no rise out of me. If you got a rise out of me, it's because I wanted to give you the rise out of me, to give you the business, to give you the smoke. I'll avoid things. And like I said in the other video, don't do anything to your enemy. Let karma take care. But sometimes you got to prove the point proactively and get up in their face and make them smell your breath. Hopefully I'll have morning breath when I got to get up in somebody's face. You talking spit flying and you in their face like, okay, let's really get down here. Do you really want this? Most people don't on any level. You know what I mean? If I'm a fight, you ain't gonna stand there, well, let's just fight. We tap you. No, I'm trying to take your head off. You trying to take my head off? I love that because I'm gonna get you first. I have to know this. Well, you talking tough. You have to know that when you in a fight, deep down, you are going to win. It's not belief, it's knowledge. That's what makes it when you get hit with something, and I'm going after this, when you get hit with something and you drop down, your character makes you get up. Muhammad Ali could have stayed down in the 14th round against Joe Frazier, March 8th, 1971, when they fought for the first time. The shot that he got hit with, and he was out, boom, he got up. You have a choice. You can stay down or you can get up. Even if you lose the whole war, you won that battle, but it's an honorary thing. That's why the real warriors in boxing and the real warriors in war, they don't feel, I'm not going to say they don't feel bad. You want to win. But they get the respect of the opponent because they know the heart that you have. The body will give out. But you know my heart. I don't care if you close up my eye. And when I had them 11 cops beat me, that proves something to me that I can take an ass whipping. Do I want to take an ass whipping? No, I don't. That made me feel like Superman after this. It felt like Rocky. Is that all you got? In a chokehold trying to make me unconscious and punch me in the face? I couldn't move my head but a little bit to avoid, and I'll never forget the smell of that white man's hand in the leather jacket as he punched me square in the eye, and I couldn't move it. I'm watching him punch me. I'm in a chokehold and he's boom, just boom. And it made that noise off my face while they were grabbing my nuts and pulling my hands back, almost breaking my fingers to put the cuffs on me. So this is what the hate that hate produced came from. For the rest of my life, I'm not getting up off of nobody's ass when they're doing something wrong or they have some kind of ignorance. I don't think I know everything, but what I do know, I know. And I'm confident in that. And I'm willing to learn. And I listen to other people who have had different experiences. That's the difference with me. I'm not some narrow-minded, I know everything and you have to come here and listen to me. No, correct me. But I'm not going to be afraid to go out on a limb. And let's go right back to the picture one more time. I'm not going to be one of these guys who are afraid to hear it, who are afraid to speak it, and don't want to see it. That's just not going to be me. That's just not going to be me. I'm sorry. I'm not wired that way. My father did not build me this way. My father and mother built me, but on the masculine male level, my father put extra thick wires inside of me to carry a stronger charge and to not be no punk. When my father did his own work and got paid, he'd have the white man hand me the money. And he told the white man who paid him, if it was a white man, short him $50. So I'm counting the money. The first time it went like this, and never went like this before. I counted the money. I think it was maybe $1,500 or something. It was $1,450. And I looked and I was almost not scared, but I'm a kid, a little 7-year-old. And I looked at my father. My father said, don't look at me. You look him in the face and you tell him you are short $50. And the way he told me, I knew what it was. I wasn't tapped in. I said, listen, I manned up real quick because I don't have to deal with my father. I said, listen, you owe us $50. Like, I knew I had my father's backing. And he knew. He said, yes, young man, you're correct. And he just handed the money. Then I knew it was a setup. But I heard him speak to my father. And he said, you're doing the right thing with your son. You're doing the right thing with your son. And they spoke deep. The white man knew that a lot of black people are sheepish around white people. And he said, I think it's a damn shame. He said, you're raising a man there. He knew. And the white man wasn't smiling. He was looking like tough. And I had to speak to him that way. Now, I knew my father could have whipped his ass. My father was a little shorter. The way he was built and his background and fighting and all that stuff, even though he was older, he would have took care of him. But it's that he put inside of me. I cannot disgrace my father's memory and be some punk now. My father would rather see me catch a beat down and get up time and time again. Something over my eye. I think my eye's playing tricks on me. I have to get ready to go. We have 13 more minutes. I'll squeeze another couple minutes because I'm right here. I just gotta go click, click, and we're there, you know, but I can't disgrace his memory. I can't disgrace my mother's memory. It wouldn't be right because it's still with me on the inside. I don't know how, why, or how. I couldn't tell you, but I'm still connected to them. I'm not going to say, oh, they're up there watching down on me. I'm not going to say that, right? But there's a connection there. And wherever they are, whichever way it works, we'll all find out. They're going to feel it. You see? Just like when you're home and you know you have teenagers or early 20s, you know, and you're in your 40s, 50s, late 30s, whatever it may be, and they're out. They have the freedom. They can do that. You can't stop them. You know they're going somewhere reputable, but you just jump up in the middle of the night. I just don't feel right. You know, when you have cell phones, you can call, okay, you all right? Oh yeah, we just got in an accident. We almost lost our lives. And you're like, I knew it. I knew it. So imagine when we didn't have cell phones and you had to find out after something happened. What I'm saying is that we are divinely connected, but because we're so caught up in the carnal and stuff on this level, we're blocking that out. The real natural, a lot of these things have taken us away from the connectedness that we had. Yet we're telling each other to wake up. Yet we're getting men. So that's race. I'm not going to get caught in that merry-go-round. Take care of the core problem. Get some damn self-esteem. Little white monkeys can come in, oh, white power, yo, you're niggers, you're lazy, you're so-and-so. So I got to answer. Sometimes I don't want to answer. Do you think what you think? I'm going to shine more. I'm still here. All those people who try to discourage me, teachers who try to discourage me, neighbors and fake friends and people who just come into your life and think they have so much of a rule over your life. I'm still here. What you gonna do? I'm not always gonna be here, but every moment that I'm here, every day, every week, every year, I'm gonna be on fire. I can be in the deepest of sleep, but I'm ready to get up and fight. Lance, somebody's out there. Huh? Where they at? It is not just a physical fight. I'm just saying that you got to be ready to go to battle with these damn demons 24/7. The minute you think you can relax and wind down in the most serene of settings, here comes one of them. Even the ones looking like them or the ones looking like us. So you got to be watching everything around you and feeling. If I'm caught up in some addiction or some extreme emotion or some extreme euphoria, I'm not going to see what's in front of me and know how to apply what I need to apply. Because, see, we all have the tools. You can hand a person who doesn't do any construction all the tools, all of the machinery. Say, build a house. If he don't know how to do it, it ain't going to happen. So not only do we have to have all the tools, we have to know how to use each tool and know the situation to apply it. If I have a nail to drive into the wall, I'd use a hammer. I ain't going to use a screwdriver to drive and missing and chopping up my finger. That's where experience comes in, but guidance from your parents and your elders, if you didn't have parents, caretakers, whatever, people who take interest in you, who feed into you to show you how to use the spiritual tools. You'll be like Bruce Lee with it. Not to honor a Chinese man, but I'm just saying he mastered his craft. A lot of hard work, meditation, and he went above and beyond in his application, and other people just walked away. I took my time and made this little batter, and I was leisurely with it. I'm gonna take my time and put time into it. I said, I want to use this background. I want to give everybody a different look, so it's not just some boring whatever. There are a lot of fabulous sites out there and platforms and shows that are going to start in 9 minutes. Listen, y'all. Let me go here, and I'm gonna get out of here. Exactly, Master Glam. They just don't get it. Julia NASA, come on, man. We got to do something. We got to talk and do a show. Yeah, you know. I'm telling you, butt cracks and smelling them and seeing them, and they think that's it. And the women who go for it, you know what I mean? Wow. Listen, y'all. If you want to, we have Positively Angela. I want to say that whenever any of the shows are over with, you want to chat and keep on chatting, you go to LANCESCURV.com where the chat is. It's always there. It's always there. The chat room is always there. So sometimes you don't want to feel like stopping, whatever. It's 24/7. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make it hard for you to not see it. Let me drop the link there. I'm gonna start doing that because you know sometimes you forget. I understand that. Let me highlight this. I didn't know on an Apple computer it was Command C and Command V instead of C. You know, I'm sitting there clicking Control C. I'm like, this is not working. It's broken. Here it is. But yes, Julia, definitely. I'm looking forward to that. We put this here. That's the chat. Y'all can meet there. Some dude's trying to talk to you. Say, meet me on the LANCESCURV chat. I'm not giving you my number. Anyway, let me zip on out of here. I cut it close. Positively Angela is going to be here in 7 minutes. I had a great time. I'd like to call out everybody's name, but there's so many to list. I'll be back here again, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 o'clock p.m. Ghana time, which I know more of my family out there listens. And a lot of them going to be hating me. You say we don't treat our women good. They going to be getting me tomorrow. But like I said, we have to be able to speak about things and acknowledge things and make growth for ourselves. Anyway, I'm going to have to cut it short. I can't play no long Farrakhan music tonight. I'd like to, but I'm probably going to cut it short. So anyway, much love to you all. Take care. And I will see you in a few minutes with Positively Angela on the same channel. Much love. Peace.